Oh, my goodness. Could it be, Skraby, that there are only 3 innings left of spring training baseball?
Yes!
Finally. Like, remember we couldn't wait for spring training to start?
And then it started. I was like, when's the season coming?
When is spring training over? Well, the answer, 3 more innings. Welcome into Gwynn and Chris, everybody. Chris Ello, Matt Skraby together in our Odyssey Palace studios. Yes, we made it home from Peoria. It might sound off the top that was just kind of a given.
I had a great drive. It was very smooth. It was I got home, in record time.
What time did you get back?
I don't even want to tell you.
10:30?
No, I drove in the driveway at 11:53 p.m.
I
left at 6:25.
Yeah, I left maybe 10 minutes before you did, but I got home 4 hours later. So we'll explain that in a minute. It was
gives
not
me anxiety.
You anxiety, my goodness. Let me tell you something. I was ready to fight anybody out there, but we'll tell you that in a little bit. But yeah, we're home, we're back, and we're ready, man. It's opening week. Major League Baseball season will start on Thursday. Tigers will come to town, but first we got to get the Padres back in town, and they will all come home tonight from spring training, and they got a couple of innings left. Their game with the Mariners is tied at 2 in the 7th inning. Look, German Marquez, 4 2/3 innings today, 8 strikeouts. That is what we wanted to see. That is what we wanted to hear. He gave up a run. So what? I mean, 8 Ks. Guy's obviously got some stuff. Rosarena took him for a solo home run, but Jason Adams.
He'll deal with that. He's a big leaguer.
Look, if he give me 6 innings and 8, 9 Ks, he can give up a run. That's fine. Jason Adams pitched a spotless inning. I mean, the fact that guy's back on the mound at all is incredible. And, look, we're getting excited. It's about time to play some real baseball after they wrap things up here today. If the Padres can win today, I really don't think they're focused on this. But if they do win today, they would finish spring training exactly at the 500 mark. Right now they're 14-15. So
just how we drew it up.
Play 500, keep everybody healthy. Nobody got hurt, right? That's the big deal.
Well, let's keep knocking on wood.
And hey, congratulations to the Padres, the final Major League Baseball team to let everybody in on who their opening day starter would be.
I know.
Nick Pivetta, the last one chosen. I just think it's kind of comical. Honestly, I do. I mean, everybody was announcing their starter months ago. We all knew months ago that it was going to be Nick Pivetta, and they just wouldn't tell anybody, but they finally came clean, and Nick Pivetta will make the start on Thursday against Tarek Skubal and the Detroit Tigers. I guess a couple of things we can throw out just in general for spring training. I just touched on one of them. Nobody got hurt. That's the main thing. Secondly, and I think this stands out to me, Skraby, and let me know what you think, but the emergence of what looks like the makings of a AAA roster, like Jace Bowen, Sanabria, Samad Taylor. All of these guys really showed up big time, I think, in spring training. They're all going to go to the minor leagues. But guess what? When somebody gets hurt, you're going to feel a whole lot better about dipping down into those minor leagues and bringing one of those guys up. I think that was big. Everybody's talked about, over the last several years, the Padres have traded away their entire minor league system in order to get, acquire the people they've acquired most recently, Mason Miller and everybody else. But you know what? We told this to AJ Preller the other day when he's sitting across from us in Peoria, Scrabe. He's magical, and his staff at coming up with more guys.
Yeah.
And it just looks like that's something I'll take away from this spring training. The performance of those guys. We can overrate it, and I overrated the whole thing with the ERAs and this, that, and the other. Whatever the regular guys do doesn't matter. But Jace Bowen getting a 963 OPS with 4 home runs, right?
Yeah.
Jose Miranda, I don't know if he'll end up going down, or hopefully he'll stay in this organization.
I think he was already, he will stay with the organization.
Right, 906, and he hits a couple of home runs. Nick Solak, 907 with a home run, 4 RBIs, and 15 hits for Nick Solak. How about Let me go down here a little bit. Nick Schnell. Anybody counting on Nick Schnell before spring training? How about 967 with 4 home runs and 7 RBIs? To me, these were the guys that made spring training, a worthwhile thing. We tell you, Sanabria had 11 RBIs and an 1102 OPS. And, look, I know everybody's waiting for Luis Campusano to fail. If he does, how about Rodolfo Duran? 1086 OPS with 3 home runs. That to me was what spring training's, what I'm going to think of when I look at this and kind of wrap it all up. To me, the Padres have themselves the makings of a AAA roster that they won't be, they won't need to hesitate if they have to go get one of these guys. And
exactly.
they'll eventually have to get one of these or 2 of these guys because that's how that works. So I think all that was good. I will say, on the negative side, if you want to go that way, the starting pitching was not anything that made you feel great, except for, Randy Vasquez definitely solidified that, 3, it was 4 spot, but now 3 because Musgrove got hurt. Michael King, 10.19 ERA. Doesn't mean a thing if he goes out and throws Shuddy on Friday, but it didn't make me feel great. Even Walker Buehler ended up with a 6.60.
He had a tough day yesterday.
So look.
Let's just say he was trying new things, Chris.
Hopefully he was trying new things. German Marquez, 9.26 before he took the mound today. And Nick Pivetta, 8.25. Those are your starters' ERAs heading into the regular season. Good news. They all reset to 0.00 on Wednesday. Let's hope that, these guys pitch the way we know they're capable of as opposed to the way they pitched in spring training. I think Craig Stammen settled himself in nicely. We had a chance to visit with him on Thursday in Peoria. He looks very comfortable in his skin. Or, he just looks like he's, taken to this thing. The very first thing he told us or Tony when they asked him, is, I'm here to learn. There are a lot of people that get appointed the boss. Mm-hmm. And the first thing they say is, hey, I'm the boss now. It's going to be my way.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work. What does work is when you get a boss who says, I'm going to learn. I'm going to surround myself with great people, and I'm going to learn. I'm going to incorporate a few of my own things. But for the most part, this is, we're going to take it all in. So I think Craig Stammen's been a success so far. Obviously, if they start 1-6, everybody say, let's fire Craig Stammen. So
can we collectively wait at least 30 games before we start giving the end of the world signals?
I would make that deal with you,
but it's not going to happen.
No, you're right. First of all, it's not going to happen. Secondly, if they're 2-11. You're not going to wait 30 days yourself.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
Right? If they start,
I don't think that's a possibility.
I don't think they're going to start 2-11, but I'm just saying, if they do, the complaint department will be open for business. You know that, Skrabe. So
I was on Fox 5 this morning, Chris, talking about the Padres. They asked me about Craig Stammen, and a lot of the questions about Craig Stammen are more of he has no experience. That, to me at least, is what people say. Well, why did they get a guy with no experience? And so I just kind of tell them it's the trend of Major League Baseball, and you want a guy who understands players, and that's what Craig Stammen is.
Do we know, and I'm not knocking these guys because they're asking questions that everybody's asking.
Yeah.
When Dave Roberts took the job with the Dodgers, no experience.
I think Dave Roberts was already...
He'd been a bit of a bench coach, but...
Yeah. Craig Stammen's literally going from,
I understand what
scouting to managing.
I understand what you're saying, but everybody had no experience
You're right.
when they started.
You're right.
I don't think that's a thing anymore. I just don't think that's a thing. I think what's a bigger thing is a relationship with your players. You need to be able to, sidle up to Manny Machado and say, hey, this, and this.
You stink.
Or that, if that's necessary. I don't know. We could say whatever we want right now on, Monday, March 23rd, 3 days. But again, if on Monday, April 8th, or whenever April 6th, I'm doing my math in my head. On Monday, April 6th, if they're 3-10, everybody's going to say, well, he has no experience. I knew it.
You're right. We are going to get some of this thrown back in our face.
And if he's 10-3, everybody's going to say, Man, guess experience didn't matter.
Yeah, it's like no one really wants to give AJ Preller or anybody credit, but
not yet. Not yet.
I know it's a long season, and that's what I want to remind everyone. It's a long season.
Yeah, well, you know who you're reminding more than everybody? You're reminding you. Yes.
Me.
It's a long season. They could start 3-10. I hope they don't. But I will say that if we went back through last year's playoff team, probably find a stretch somewhere where they lost 10 out of 13 games.
I know there was a stretch.
Okay. So, but if you do it at the beginning, oh my God, the Dodgers ended up on top in the Cactus League. That shouldn't surprise anybody. They were 20-8, but again, everything resets to 0. Gavin Sheets got hot down the stretch.
Yes, he did. Is this shades of last year?
I hope so. I hope he carries it right into the season. I think the other thing to note, especially today, once again, Jake Cronenworth was in the leadoff spot. He's been there most of the spring. However, Fernando batted there yesterday. And don't forget, Tarek Skubal, a lefty, will be on the mound opening day. And he will be followed by a lefty, Framber Valdez, on Friday. Don't be surprised if Fernando isn't batting leadoff the first couple of games. I don't know that he will. I'm just saying don't be surprised. Doesn't mean he'll be there all year. I think Craig Stammen is going to be moving this around. I think Jake's going to get a bunch of time there. There's no reason he would have wasted all this time in spring batting him leadoff if he wasn't going to bat him leadoff once the season gets going.
It's very true.
So they're going to try all this stuff. Nothing wrong with trying it. Tony would say, whoever the opening day leadoff guy, you don't have to keep it there for 162 games.
What?
I know. That's the rule. That's the rule.
I heard Ben, or I was listening to Ben Woods this morning, and Ben said something like, they're going to face the gauntlet of pitchers in the first 10 games of the year. You're going to face Skubal, Framber Valdez, then you're going to face probably Logan Webb. You're also probably going to face Paul Skeens, all in the first 10 or 12 games of the year. So get through that and have a winning record, and we'll all be very happy.
Yeah, well, we know they're facing Skubal. We know they're facing Valdez. We know they're facing Flaherty in the third game. Other than that,
those are 3 great pitchers, too.
They're all pretty good. You got San Francisco in the next trip. Logan Webb will pitch at least one of those games. The fourth series of the year, as you just said, is Pittsburgh. Unless they miss Paul Skeens again, they're going to finally get a look at him. And they also got Boston in there. Mm-hmm. Don't be shocked if you see Garrett Crochet and Chris Sale could jump up.
Chris Sale's with the Braves.
Yes. Garrett Crochet. Who's the other one? They added
Ranger Suarez.
Ranger Suarez, another lefty. So
great. I love it.
A lot of lefties in the early going, apparently. All right. Season is almost here. We're wrapping up spring training today. Drew Goodman, one of our favorite guests on this show. Do the Rockies have any hope? Well, it's that time of year. I think that they do probably have a little hope. We love catching up with him, the voice of Colorado's baseball. We'll talk with him on the show today. We'll get into everything Padre-wise. Chris First the Fans later, Daily Gambit later, Big Five later, Gwynn and Chris now.
We have a great pool on.
Craig Stammen joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. And Craig, you get asked pretty much. I'm here every day. Craig Stammen joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. And Craig, you get asked pretty much. I'm here every day. You get pretty much asked every day about your lineup. There was a couple times I felt in particular that you were messing with everybody out there.
Why don't you ask him what his lineup's going to be the second game instead of opening day lineup?
We're getting close to that particular time. You haven't really had your whole team as a whole to kind of make that kind of decision, but I would guess that you have at least an idea of where you want to go at this point.
Yeah, I have an idea. Tatis, Machado, Mero are going to bat at the top of the lineup somewhere.
Good thinking, Craig.
I told you I wasn't that smart.
Yeah, touche.
But yeah, I think it's been fun. It's fun to go through spring training and try different lineups, try different things, especially with the guys that were gone for the WBC.
Did that make it a little bit easier to try some things because you kind of were forced to?
It definitely made it a lot easier because there's no way you could write a Padres lineup without Manny and Toddy somewhere in the top 4, and so being able to try different people in different spots and just see how they took to leading off or took to batting second or batting third, batting in the middle of the lineup and how that looked in Cactus League games. So try to take all that information in and then make a good decision on opening day.
Craig, talking about the fact that you've surrounded yourself with people and you're learning and you're asking, But what kind of thing, that said, what kind of things did you feel were important for you as Craig Stammen to try to bring to this job and to this position and situation?
Well, I just tried to be myself, and that was the only thing that I could bring to this situation, this job. And the one benefit I have is I played with a lot of these guys, so they kind of, as long as I wasn't being fake as a player, I am who I was, and I'm trying to be that same person right now. And so that they know they got someone that they can trust, and that someone they can count on, someone that they can talk to, and then also hopefully someone that can put his foot down when he needs to. I think that's part of this role, and definitely going to be tough with, some of my best friends. But I think that's also the fun part of it too, is like, who doesn't want to play baseball with their best friends and, figure out a way to win it all.
With this particular group, from the pitching side of things, you guys came in, a lot of arms for, a couple of spots. Joe Musgrove sounds like he's not going to be ready for opening day. One of the things I've been trying to impart on people is the difference in how you guys look at it versus how us fans look at it, right? I think we get so excited about opening day and we get our hopes and minds set on that when it's just one of 162.
Right.
How different are things now with kind of the situation with Joe being down, at least at the start, in terms of the competition that you guys have had unfold?
Yeah. You know what? Opening day is special, right? When you're on a squad for opening day, you made the opening day roster. Like, that is a big thing for players. There's no doubt about that. However, like what you said, it is one of 162. It counts the same as game, 150,
Right.
130, and 120. So we want our best team for the majority of the season, not just on day one. And looking at the pitching staff specifically, we've got a lot of guys that have track records of pitching well in the big leagues, and they're competing for spots in our rotation right now and in the bullpen. And so, we're going to try to keep those guys around as long as we can and give them opportunities throughout the rest of spring training, and then, see where we're at opening day and, go from there. But, so far those guys have pitched really well outside of maybe a few snafus, but, they're in a good spot right now and ready to help us.
Do you have someone in mind for opening day already?
We have, several pitchers in mind for opening day.
It's not going to be you, Tony.
Yeah.
I can guarantee they're going to be me.
Yeah, we got some good pitchers. That's a good thing. We have choices.
There
you
go.
Many
Fair
guys
enough.
that could do it.
I know we're wrapping this up, and I know you have a lot to do. I want to try to get one question in that hopefully you haven't heard a lot. Have you thought about your first trip out to argue with an umpire in a major situation? Not just chirping, but I mean, something where you got to get out there and really make it happen. If so, have you asked anybody for any ideas or dreamed about how that might look?
It ain't going to look good if it's scripted, put it that way.
Okay.
So, the only thing I'd say is my kids have seen it. Maybe not outside, but my kids have seen it.
They know you got it.
They saw it this morning.
Oh, okay. All right.
If the umpires stop listening, then we, dad mode comes out or whatever. But, it'll happen when it happens.
Okay.
It probably won't be me just getting angry at an umpire. It'll be hopefully me protecting some of our players and showing them that I got their back.
Well, Craig, hey, man, we let you get going, man. We appreciate you coming and spending some time with us. Good luck this year. You got a whole city behind you, my friend.
Yep, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we've told everybody today in our Odyssey Palace studios, Tony Gwynn Jr. finishing up the broadcast, the final spring broadcast of the year. Mariners just got a run in the 8th off Bradley Rodriguez. Time to send him to the minors, Skraby. That's it. I've had it. 3-2 Mariners lead, Padres batting. There's an inning and a half to go in spring training. And then the guys will be taking a whole bunch of charter flights, from what I understand, home to San Diego. Tony will be on one of those. And we'll all be together in studio, I'm told, tomorrow.
Yes, it'll be first time in
quite
quite
a while. Interesting. So we'll look forward to that tomorrow. But of course, so just let's do a quick report. Thursday's opening day starts early here.
Yes, it does.
Ben and Woods, 6 a.m.
Yep.
Down at Baja Rick's.
Yep.
And then 10 a.m. Braden Surprenant.
Yeah, not Brandon, Braden.
They're announcing it as Brandon, but we're going to actually send Braden there.
So all you Brandon fans are going to be
disappointed. If you're a Brandon Surprenant fan, you're going to be upset. And then Braden, now I'm confused. Braden will take us right up until Sam Levitt's first pregame show of the year at noon on Thursday.
I know he's very excited. He when we went to breakfast at Waffle House last week, we were talking about it. He said he has some of his stuff already all ready to go.
Where he made you order a waffle?
I didn't order the waffle, though.
You didn't do it.
I didn't. And you know what I got to say about Waffle House, Chris, real quick? They charged me $5 for 2 sausage patties. I didn't realize. $5.
You just found out?
I looked at the receipt. I was like, $5?
Wait till Adam Klug turns that receipt down.
That's like my per diem. Is the 2 sausage
You're
patties.
Done. You get nothing
else.
I
thought Waffle House was affordable.
Not for sausages, apparently.
I guess.
All right. So I want to tell everybody my nightmare getting home on Friday night. But we do have Drew Goodman coming up in about 15 minutes as our guest. And I don't want to totally overlook the NCAA basketball. The March Madness was pretty good the last couple of days. Like, the ratings are off the charts.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in the Big Five a little bit. But
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So everyone's watching this, and unfortunately, that is going to tell everybody out there, hey, doesn't matter all this NIL crap. Doesn't matter all of this, player movement. And it's kind of funny because it really doesn't. We watch the games for the front of the jersey, not the back. We don't have a lot of familiarity with these teams. I do still think, though, for your own team, the one that you follow, a la the Aztecs, who next year could look completely different, I still think the NIL needs some serious tweaks. And, hopefully somehow, some way that'll happen, although I'm not confident it will. The March Madness is still exciting. I mean, you go all the way back to, the first day, and, Kentucky guy hits the half-court shot and, breaks the heart of Santa Clara, and Siena takes Duke right to the wire. That was incredible. They didn't win it. And then yesterday, Iowa, thank you, by the way, Iowa, for ridding us of the miserable SOB Todd Golden. Get him out of our lives for a while.
You hate this guy all of a sudden?
Absolutely hate him.
What?
Have you watched this guy, the way he is quietly worse to referees and fans nearby than Dan Hurley is. He just is. Ever since he won the national title, I think he's just been emboldened to act like a what. So I'm glad Florida's out.
I'm more upset about the tall guy being on the team. He has no reason to be on that team.
Well, he never played.
Exactly.
That I know of,
and he makes all this NIL money. He's just a tall guy.
He's a tall guy getting paid for being tall.
I mean, tall people like that usually are not great athletes because they're so big.
He actually's got some decent hands.
He does.
Some of the film I've seen, but maybe he'll get in there, one of these days. But he didn't play this year. Anyway, great on Iowa. Love to see, a team like, cocky team like Florida get bounced out in the second round. It couldn't make me happier. And they can come back and say, well, we got a national title. I'm like, yeah, you do. But you know what? That was last year. This is this year. Good riddance to Florida. I don't miss them at all. The kid for St. John's yesterday, hitting the shot after Kansas made an incredible comeback. I think they're down 14 with about 5 minutes to go. Next thing you know, it's tied up. And we can discuss it a little later, but I still think Bill Self kind of messed that up. I think he boxed it up at the end of the game.
Okay.
They had a couple of fouls to give. They gave a couple, but they needed to give a couple more, and the clock would have run out. They let the guy dribble all the way down. I didn't quite understand Bill Self's thinking on that one. And then you had yesterday the must-see TV matchup of Mick Cronin versus Dan Hurley. I feel for those refs. That's all I'm going to say. Those poor refs, every call they made, they were just obliterated. Mick Cronin finally picked up a technical late in the second half, and it was really bad timing because his team was down by 8 points, and UConn was kind of on a run, and Mick Cronin applauded the referee's missed call in his ear. That is an automatic technical in 99% of the world. And that, so now UConn went from 8 to 12, and that was pretty much ball game. I get you have to be Mick Cronin. I get you have to be, holier than this, but you cost your own team. Like, you did that to your own team, your kids that are out there. That's the Mick Cronin story. That's UCLA's problem. They have to deal with him. And so on and on it went. I thought it was it's been a good tournament. It's been exciting. I want to say a couple things about the TCU Duke game real quick. The refereeing in that game was the worst I've seen in a long time. And it's not just the fact that Duke shot 23 free throws and TCU shot 10. That's embarrassing enough. What it comes down to me is Duke is leading by 5 points midway through the second half. And the TCU guy goes up for a shot. He banks it off the glass, and then the Duke guy swats it away. That is automatic goaltending. That isn't even an argument. That's not a judgment. As soon as the ball hits the glass and it's swatted out, that's goaltending.
I even know that.
They all missed it. Okay. Not okay, but okay, you missed it. They go down the court. Duke scores. Now they go up 7 instead of it being 3. Then TCU comes down the court, and the coach of TCU is talking to the referee and like, how could you guys miss that? That was a big call. The referee compounds his missed call by teeing up the TCU coach.
Wow.
Who says he didn't swear, didn't raise his voice, was just having a discussion about how they could miss that call. Now you give Duke 2 more free throws. They're up 9. They get the ball. They're up 12. They go on to win by 23. Duke might have won anyway. They're the better team. I get it. I just can't stand awful officiating. And this is for my guys that I work with in high school. I'm not in charge of you. But if you make a bad call or miss a call and you missed it, because everyone in the arena was like, they missed it. Grant Hill on the TV's like, they missed it. Everyone knew they missed it. Then you don't get to compound it by teeing up the coach whose call you missed. You have to wear it. And if you can't wear it, then you shouldn't be at that level. It was awful. And the thing that upset me was before that even happened, TCU had 5 fouls in the second half. Duke had none. They called some chintzy rebound call on Duke. Didn't mean anything. TCU got the rebound. The guy reached over. They fouled. They called the foul. Shire the Crier went lunatic. Like, Shire the Crier, shut up. Every call is going in your favor. Every call. And you still cry like that. It's such a bad look. I'm so sick of Duke. I understand why people are sick of Duke, because after a game like that, you look at it and you say to yourself as a fan, how come Duke never gets screwed like that? And they just don't. So this isn't sticking up for Braden, by the way. I was visibly angry watching the officials, just basically hand that game, take it away from TCU. Hate that. Otherwise, I've enjoyed the tournament up till now. All right, we got to take a break. Drew Goodman comes on next. We'll get back to baseball a little bit later. Don't go anywhere because you're going to want to hear why it took me 9 hours to get home Friday night from Peoria.
You will want to hear this.
Gwynn and Chris continues.
Doing well, man. How was your first experience in the WBC? You look like you had a good time.
I had a great time. I had definitely a great time, man. It was beautiful. Representing my country and playing next to so many great players, and the emotion that everybody brought, and just pulling our rope from the same direction, man. It was something really beautiful to be part of.
What was the buzz down on the field like compared to, you've been in Petco for a great playoff game. I mean, was it pretty similar?
It was pretty similar. We were just missing the drums, But, I mean, Petco Park, they know how to bring in those fans, are definitely beautiful. They can make that stadium shake, and it was really similar. The only thing that we're chanting in Spanish.
Yeah, right. You don't often get that feeling at that particular park in Miami during the regular season. You get it during that WBC. One of the things I know is you got to celebrate that with your family. Your mom was there. You got to play with your pops. What was that like, getting the chance to? I mean, I know you guys have shared the field in winter ball, but was it any different sharing it in that environment?
I mean, such a way bigger stage, and being able to have my dad on my side, man, is different. It's definitely different. And You know, he was all over me during the games. You know, when I had a bad at bat, he looked at me like funny, like, man, what are you doing right there? But, you know, it's definitely somebody I can relate. It's somebody that's going to tell me the truth right away and what he thinks wrong. And, you know, it's just different, you know, father and son. And we had created that relationship since winter ball. So we know how to kick it in during a baseball game.
Yeah, we give the Tatisas the nod over the Gwynns in the junior category. Sorry, Tony.
I think that's
close,
fair. I think that's fair.
This guy here. Hey, I got to ask you, because all the Padre fans, I think, want to know. I mean, you're on deck, right? Mason Miller's closing out the game. What was going through your mind? I know you had to want to come up there. We all wanted to see you come up.
It was definitely something that the Padres fans deserve. But, man, I definitely wanted it. And Mason definitely also wanted it too, you know. It was going to be a great battle, and I know we're going to give the fans what they wanted, and that's what it's all about, you know, bringing our talent and the best scenario, best case, and sad it couldn't happen, but both of us, we definitely wanted that situation.
Fernando Tatis joins us here on Gwynn and Chris, and Fernando, you get to experience that. You're back here in camp. Obviously, you got about, 3-4 days to go before heading back to San Diego. I know you and I have talked in terms of your focus on what you're looking to do at the plate. What is your focus for these remaining 3-4 days as you try to – you're already ramped up. You've been playing 9-inning games for about a week now.
Yeah, I'm definitely ramped up. But, man, just bring that same energy, you know, and just play baseball the right way. And like you said, I'm in a good spot right now, so I'm ready for baseball season.
You know, last year, during a portion of the season, if I recall, you kind of paused your pause around third base, and then it returned. And we all wondered, was that part of a little joy coming back for you mentally? I think we were all happy to see you so happy as the season went on.
Yeah.
Just take us through that a little bit.
Man, just having some feel for the game, you know, especially not as an individual, but also as a team. And you know, I don't want to be doing starter step, listen 7-1, you know.
Okay. Yeah, facts.
It's just part of the game, you know. Just having this feel for the season, for the boys, you know, knowing the situation. But I do want to celebrate every single time. I want to give the fans what they deserve. But you know, at the same time, I need to show some respect for the game, for my teammates grinding with me, and you know, and 162 and even more. So it's just being detailed of what the game is asking you for, and but I definitely want to celebrate for my fans. I want to, you know, show them what they want, and you know, I just want to give the best show they can have.
All right, Gwynn and Chris back with you. Chris Ello, Matt Skraby today. Tony's finishing up a broadcast, and he's probably describing to everybody how Romeo Sanabria just hit a grand slam in the bottom of the eighth inning. The Padres have gone ahead of the Mariners in the final spring training game. We are joined by one of my favorite broadcasters, bar none, and that is Drew Goodman, who calls the games for the Colorado Rockies. Drew, appreciate your time as always. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for the kind introduction.
Always
good.
Always great having you on, sir. And I imagine like a trip to the dentist when you're driving home, you're just glad that's over. I'm referring to last season, of course. You move on now. And, I know everybody's probably turned the page. And I think there, at least from the outside, I feel there's reason for hope. You bring in Paul DePodesta, you bring in Josh Burns. They add some players, some pitching, especially with Lorenzen and Quintana and Sugano. Just talk about the mood around the Rocks here as we kind of wrap up spring training.
I know it may catch some people by surprise, other than we understand that this time of year for all 30 teams is one of great optimism. And so having said that, there truly is a really great vibe around this club right now. And I think a lot of it has to do with the numerous changes that took place. You alluded to it. It starts at the top with Paul DePodesta and Josh Burns. They hired a lot of really smart, really well-respected and successful people in this business. And I think that has permeated down through Warren Schaefer and a relatively new coaching staff to the players. And there's a number of players who were here a year ago, and to a man, they're all like, this is a different deal. And so the enthusiasm's great. I get this question a lot, what's it going to look like? and honestly, I'm super, super excited about watching this thing unfold, with the caveat that, you're not going to go from 119 losses to, 95 wins. That just doesn't happen. But in terms of where they are right now and the future and the beginning of what will be a process, I honestly, and I'm not just blowing smoke, I couldn't be more excited, because it was necessary, and it's taken place, and it's not just one individual. It's been widespread. So I really am enthusiastic about the direction.
Drew Goodman is with us. He's the voice of the Rockies. The other thing, Drew, you talked about the new people. I looked at some of the numbers of these guys last year. I mean, Hunter Goodman was an all-star that, there might be a lot of people who didn't even notice. The guy had 31 home runs. Mickey Moniak, I know Skraby wants to talk about him because he's a La Costa Canyon kid, but 24 home runs, breakout type of year. Jordan Beck, he looks like a 2020, maybe 25 guy. Brenton Doyle has already kind of been that. I thought he had an off year. Ezekiel Tovar, he's an all-star caliber type player when he's healthy. It doesn't seem like the cupboard is completely bare for a team that had the record they had.
I think that's really fair. And I think when you look at, we'll start up the middle. Last year, Hunter Goodman, it wasn't just a gratuitous thing. You have to have an all-star. He was a Silver Slugger award winner behind the plate in the National League. And last time I checked, there's a guy in Los Angeles named Will Smith who's pretty darn good also. So, his numbers were legit. They were not inflated by Coors Field. He hit more home runs out on the road than he did at Coors Field. Brenton Doyle had some, stuff off the field last year, family related, that I'm sure affected, his performance. He was much better in the second half. But to your point, 2 years ago, he was a 20-something player. He plays Gold Glove defense in center field. Tovar, 2 years ago, he dealt with a lot of injuries last year, limited to 95 games. He had 26 home runs, had 45 doubles. The only guy who had more extra base hits in the National League was a fellow named Shohei Ohtani. So there are players, and now you need, hopefully, when you have really good seasons, all your players, or most of your players, live up to some kind of expectation. So no, the cupboard's not bare, but you need more talent. And there's no question the Rockies, continue to have to build in the talent department, especially when it comes to the rotation.
Talking to Drew Goodman, he is the TV play-by-play broadcaster for the Rockies, and he is brought to you by SDCCU. It's not Big Bank Banking, it's better, the SDCCU fan hotline, I should say. And Chris is right. I want to talk about Mickey Moniak because he is the La Costa Canyon guy. I am too. Number 1 overall pick. He was, he's played for a couple different teams. Didn't really seem like he was finding a place, but I think he may have found a place in Colorado. Do you think that this is a place where he can grow?
Absolutely. I mean, you talk about growth with the Angels. He had a couple of years ago, he had a real solid year. The home run total was 14, but the average in OPS was strong. A little bit of a down year in 24. Last year, he increases his home run total, his career high, by 10. Mickey was really good. And so I think there's a comfort level. I think he's beyond now having to deal with the expectations, especially in Philadelphia. You guys know this.
Mm-hmm.
When you get drafted 1-1 and then you go to a city like Philadelphia that has high expectations for heck, if I was playing there, they'd have high expectations for me.
Yeah.
But they had all these great players around him. Great dude. Thrilled for his success last year, and I'm looking forward to watching him build on that.
Drew, you talked about some of these newcomers. I keep looking to try and find what the Rockies lineup is going to be. I don't know how much of it has all been decided. I've seen somewhere Julian's going to play first base. I've seen somewhere Castro's going to play second. Somewhere he's going to play third. Ritter's going to be in there somewhere. The outfield, I've seen Moniak in right. I've seen McCarthy in left. I've seen Beck. How are they going to piece it all together? Or is it still kind of just going to be, let's see how it works?
Well, last year, other than Mickey Moniak, the Rockies really didn't have a left-handed bat. I think that, they went out and got Willie Castro, who was an all-star a couple of years ago with the Twins, switch hitter, professional. As you guys know, he can play everywhere. He'll probably start at second base, at least initially most days. Kyle Karros, again, Southern California kid, UCLA. His dad had a marvelous career. Kyle's going to play third. He got up late last year and tremendous defensively. I think he's going to hit also. At first base, it's interesting. TJ Rumfield is going to start there initially. He was in the originally he was in the Phillies system. He was in the Yankee system, and he had a really good year last year at Scranton. He's blocked by Ben Rice and also Paul Goldschmidt. So the Rockies made a deal, sent Angel Chivie, a reliever, to the Yankees, and this kid showed up. He's punched out just one time in spring training, leads the club with 4 homers, real good bat to ball skills. So they're kind of excited about Rumfield. You'll see him a lot. Julian, I think, will come off the bench. Ritter will come off the bench. You'll see a foursome in the outfield with one guy DHing. It'll be Beck, who we talked about, Doyle, who we obviously talked about, Mickey Moniak, and the guy that they picked up from Arizona, who's going to lead off, I think, most days, is Jake McCarthy. Right. So they're excited about his what he brings, kind of high on base guy and a guy who's going to run.
Talking to Drew Goodman on the SDCCU fan hotline, and one of the guys that I really feel bad for is Chris Bryant, because he signed this huge deal with the Rockies. I know that he does not want to be injured, and I know that he wants to be out there playing, but what is the future for Chris Bryant? Does he have a playing future with the Rockies, or is this something where we've seen him suit up for the last time?
When anybody has an injury, particularly one that becomes a chronic situation, such as the one that Chris is dealing with his back. Sure. I mean, you're talking about a guy, it's sad. I mean, you're talking about a guy that was an MVP, a guy that was part of an historic World Series team in Chicago. He was Rookie of the Year, accomplished a lot of things. And unfortunately, he's not healthy. And I at this point, because he has come out and said he can't even pick up his kids. So, being able to do anything from a baseball related standpoint, and we're talking 6, 8, better part of a year now since the last time he played. If he does play again, it's probably more of a surprise.
It's unfortunate.
And that's just being honest and reading the tea leaves.
Yeah. Drew Goodman, brought to you by the SDCCU fan hotline. Yeah, Chris Bryant, I mean, look, the San Diego connection, USD, number 1 pick overall. It's such a shame because he's such a good guy. All right, last thing, Drew, I know you got to roll. Give me just a quick rundown of this pitching staff, because I know when it was all said and done, I think nobody had an ERA under 6 in the starting rotation. And even for Coors Field, it was a rough year for the pitchers, but Lorenzen, Sagano, Quintana, these aren't Hall of Fame names, but they're guys that should be able to get some outs.
Yeah, they're pros, and the staff will be led again by Kyle Freeland, who's I know it's a cliche, but he really is kind of a warrior when he takes the mound. And it's a great story. It's 10 years now. He grew up in Denver and was drafted out of the University of Evansville in the first round. He's had a great spring. He's given up just one run this spring. But after that, you have guys that are more, back-end guys historically. Quintana probably a little better than that. Lorenzen has a no-hitter on his resume, an all-star game. But they know how to pitch. And are there going to be rough days? Of course, especially when you pitch half your games at Coors Field. But I think they're going to be able to keep the Rockies in games, maybe more than some of the youngsters a year ago. And we'll see, how it transpires. The other element, Chase Dolander, it was announced yesterday, who has top of the rotation stuff. He's going to start the year in the bullpen. And if he can figure it out where he's a little more of a consistent strike thrower, then the Rockies, may have their, fingers crossed, may have their best starter in terms of stuff since Ubaldo Jimenez.
Yeah.
And, we'll see how it plays out. But it's going to be a veteran staff. There's a little more depth there, even some pieces that'll start the year in AAA than there has been recently. So, fingers crossed from that standpoint. Not trying to suggest that this is, the Detroit Tigers rotation, who the Rockies are getting ready to play here in a few hours. But hopefully they'll be a little more settled there with the presence of guys that have been there and done that in the aforementioned fellas you threw out there.
Talking to Drew Goodman, and real quick, Drew, I have to ask you about Zach Veen. For everybody who doesn't know, he showed up in spring training with 40 extra plus pounds of muscle. How has that worked out for him?
Oh, it's working out nicely. And honestly, funny story. So there were some guys who worked here forever that were having a conversation with them and didn't realize who he was for like the first minute of the conversation.
Different. He looks different.
He looked completely different.
Yes, he did.
And, he's been very upfront about some of the things he went through with some, addiction things. And he's a great young man, and he's a guy that you really root for. He obviously has immense talent, and he got off to a great start. In fact, he hit 2 450-plus foot walk-off home runs the first few weeks of spring training. And then he I think it was a knee, kind of dinged up a knee a little bit. So he hasn't played the last couple of weeks, and, he's going to start the year in AAA.
All right, Drew. Well, Drew, you said it can't happen, to go from 119 losses, but it also shouldn't be able to happen that you lose 119. So maybe something crazy happens this year. I hope for your guys' sake it does. You're one of the great pros in our world, and I love listening to your games. We will see you in San Diego. It looks like April 9th through the 12th. Have fun up until then, Drew, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for being gracious with your time as always.
Yeah, anytime. Love being on with you guys. And it's never bad, as you've heard a million times, being out there in America's finest city. But yeah, it'll be a good time. I'm excited to get it going, and the NL West is typically loaded, so it's a blast, man. It's the thing we all love to do.
For sure, Drew. Thanks, appreciate it. Drew Goodman, right there, play-by-play voice of the Colorado Rockies. Nice little Rockies preview. Probably about the last time we have to talk about the Rockies. I hope not.
Is he the nicest guy in the world or what?
He's right up there. And you know what? He appreciates the fact that he's one of 30 big league announcers.
He does.
He gets it. I mean, this job is something that I would imagine you could find 10,000 people who would say, yeah, I'd like to be the play-by-play voice of the Rockies.
Of course, I would.
Maybe more.
Give me the chance. I'll do it.
Maybe more than 10,000. And he's one of 30.
Yeah.
Maybe 50 because most have a TV, radio, but you know what I'm saying? There's not many
He's
Jesse
the lead
Aguilers,
guy, so.
Right, there's not many Jessies. There's not many Don Orsillas. There's just these guys. These jobs don't grow on trees. Drew Goodman realizes, hey, the season stunk, but he's so lucky, and you can hear it when we talk to him, and that's why I like having him on.
And at least he's not stuck in the middle of the country. He's stuck in Colorado, which is a nice place, and he gets to go to places like LA and San Diego. He could be he could be like the Minnesota Twins guy.
I also would tell
Twins
you
have no chance.
I would also tell you Drew Goodman should, if he wanted to, do a lot of national stuff. He is that good.
Yeah,
having watched a lot of his games. The Rockies will play 12 games before they come to San Diego on April the 9th. What do you think? 4-8.
Who do they play?
It doesn't matter.
No, I'm not going to give them 4-8 because
you're not even going to give them 4.
I'll give them 3.
They got Miami.
Oh, okay.
Then they got Toronto, Philadelphia, and Houston.
Okay.
Before they come here, what are you going 2-10? Come on,
I'll give them 3 wins.
Going to give them 3 wins.
Yeah.
This is to me, it's the most incredible stat about the Rockies last year in a season of incredible stats. They did not win a series until July. Not a single series.
I gotta give.
Might have been late June.
What was his name?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's
it took forever for them to win a series?
Manager Warren Schaefer.
Yeah, he's still there.
I gotta give him credit for being able to get that team to actually win some games by the end of the year. How do you go to work knowing that you were by far and away the worst team in baseball?
Their first series win was June 2nd through 4th, so I overstated it, but
that's still a long time.
It
took 2 months.
Took 2 full months before they won a series, and when they entered that series in Miami last year, June 2nd, the Rockies' record was, if you didn't remember, 9-50. Oh, wow! Before they won that series.
Oh, man.
That is the worst start nobody's ever done anything even close to that.
Not even the White Sox the year before.
Nobody ever. The Cleveland Spiders in 1899 didn't go that bad at the beginning.
When you're beating out the Spiders, you're doing something wrong.
I'll say one thing. I'm looking at their schedule last year. They were 3-9 after 12 games last year. And that's when they came here for the first time, just like they're coming here for the first time after 12 games last year or this year. Do you remember what happened when they came here? In April?
Yeah, they didn't score a run.
They did not score a run in 3 games. The Padres shut them out all 3 games. Oh, man, what a rough time that had to be. All right, thanks, Drew Goodman. He's a great guy.
I got to say this real quick, unless you had something, because Sammy Lev just tweeted out a picture of him leaving the Peoria Sports Complex. He said 42 days in Peoria, next stop San Diego. Sam... It's not easy to go out there and just pick up your life and move for 6 weeks.
How come Sam doesn't get to get on one of the charters? He should be flying.
Because he brought his car.
He should be flying one of the charters.
You think he should be the pilot?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sammy Levitt, bring him home. Bring him home, Sammy.
I appreciate Sam Levitt.
I do too. Padres ended up winning 10-3 today.
Quickest game ever.
Yeah, well, everybody just wanted to get out of there. They got 8 runs, the Padres did in the 8th inning, including a grand slam by Romeo. He ended up with 50. Well, how art thou, Romeo?
Thank you.
He ended up with 15 RBIs this spring. We should mention congrats, and I'm so happy on Saturday to see Ty France made the opening day roster.
Yeah.
Talked about that the other day. I think the 13 is set, right? It's going to be the 9 starters. It's going to be France, Campusano, Bryce Johnson, and Castellanos, the 4 guys on the bench.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at. Buehler, looks like Marquez will be the 5th starter, at least at the beginning. Everybody's kind of said that's going to be the case. I think with 8 strikeouts today, Marquez probably solidified that. And, to me, the only question right now is, would Jason Adam be on the opening day roster? They're going to put him on the IL for a little while just to make sure, exactly how the final makeup of that bullpen is going to be. But everything's pretty much ready to go.
I mean, this is kind of worst case scenario for Sung Moon Song because you're going to have to be better than Ty France.
Well, he's going to have to get healthy.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the IL. But I think they put it, I told you when he went down that I thought this is perfect because they can start with him on the IL and then have Ty France on the team. And that way they can see how both of these guys do without releasing Ty France.
Yeah.
So I think Sung Moon Song was destined to be on the injured list. And the second he tweaked something, they're like, yes, I'm going to go right on the injured list.
They were happy about it.
They were happy about it. Will Wagner's also going to be on the injured list, the infielder. Look, we're ready to go.
I'm never mind. Manny Machado hit 111 in spring training. Worried?
Yeah, I know. Fernando doubled that, 222.
Jackson Merrill, 229.
Miguel Andujar, 220. Man, I'm glad they're resetting. Xander got up to 286.
I mean, you really think Sung Moon Song, he played today, so...
I know, but he's going to open on the injured list. There's nowhere else to put him.
All right.
Unless you're going to, I don't know.
Hey, everybody, Bogey hit 286 in spring.
And Castellanos is a two hundo.
Great. Fermin Let's go with Fermin. Chris?
395. He's batting cleanup Thursday. More Gwynn and Chris coming up.
Craig Stammer joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. And Craig, you get asked pretty much. I'm here every day. You get pretty much asked every day about your lineup. There was a couple times I felt in particular that you were messing with everybody out there.
Why don't you ask him what his lineup's going to be the second game instead of opening day lineup?
We're getting close to that particular time. You haven't really had your whole team as a whole to kind of make that kind of decision, but I would guess that you have at least an idea of where you want to go at this point.
Yeah, I have an idea. Tatis, Machado, Mero are going to bat at the top of the lineup somewhere.
Good thinking, Craig.
I told you I wasn't that smart.
Yeah, touche.
But yeah, I think it's been fun. It's fun to go through spring training and try different lineups, try different things, especially with the guys that were gone for the WBC.
Did that make it a little bit easier to try some things because you kind of were forced to?
It definitely made it a lot easier because there's no way you could write a Padres lineup without Manny and Toddy somewhere in the top four, and so being able to try different people in different spots and just see how they took to leading off or took to batting second or batting third, batting in the middle of the lineup and how that looked in Cactus League games. So try to take all that information in and then make a good decision on opening day.
Craig, talking about, the fact that you've surrounded yourself with people and you're learning and you're asking, but what kind of thing that said? What kind of things did you feel were important for you as Craig Stammen to try to bring to this job and to this position and situation?
Well, I just tried to be myself, and that was the only thing that I could bring to this situation, this job. And the one benefit I have is I played with a lot of these guys, so they kind of, as long as I wasn't being fake as a player, I am who I was, and I'm trying to be that same person right now. And so that they know they got someone that they can trust and that someone that they can count on, someone that they can talk to. And then also hopefully someone that can put his foot down when he needs to. I think that's part of this role and definitely going to be tough with, some of my best friends. But I think that's also the fun part of it too, is like, who doesn't want to play baseball with their best friends and, figure out a way to win it all.
With this particular group from the pitching side of things, you guys came in, a lot of arms for, a couple of spots. Joe Musgrove sounds like he's not going to be ready for opening day. One of the things I've been trying to impart on people is the difference in how you guys look at it versus how us fans look at it, right? I think we get so excited about opening day and we get our hopes and minds set on that when it's just one of 162.
Right.
How different are things now with kind of the situation with Joe being down, at least at the start, in terms of the competition that you guys have had unfold?
Yeah. You know what? Opening day is special, right? When you're on a squad for opening day, you made the opening day roster. Like, that is a big thing for players. There's no doubt about that. However, like what you said, it is one of 162. It counts the same as game, 150, 130, and 120. So we want our best team for the majority of the season, not just on day one. And looking at the pitching staff specifically, we've got a lot of guys that have track records of pitching well in the big leagues, and they're competing for spots in our rotation right now and in the bullpen. And so, we're going to try to keep those guys around as long as we can and give them opportunities throughout the rest of spring training, and then, see where we're at opening day and, go from there. But, so far those guys have pitched really well outside of maybe a few snafus, but, they're in a good spot right now and ready to help us.
Do you have someone in mind for opening day already?
We have, several pitchers in mind for opening day.
It's not going to be you, Tony.
Yeah.
I can guarantee they're going to be me.
Yeah, we got some good pitchers. That's a good thing. We have choices.
There you go.
Many guys that could do it.
I know we're wrapping this up, and I know you have a lot to do. I want to try to get one question in that hopefully you haven't heard a lot. Have you thought about your first trip out to argue with an umpire in a major situation? Not just chirping, but I mean, something where you got to get out there and really make it happen. If so, have you asked anybody for any ideas or dreamed about how that might look?
It ain't going to look good if it's scripted, put it that way. Okay. So, the only thing I say is my kids have seen it. Maybe not outside, but my kids have seen it.
They know you got it.
They saw it this morning.
Oh, okay. All right.
If the umpires stop listening, then we, dad mode comes out or whatever. But, it'll happen when it happens.
Okay.
it probably won't be me just getting angry at an umpire. It'll be hopefully me protecting some of our players and showing them that I got their back.
Well, Craig, hey, man, we let you get going, man. We appreciate you coming and spending some time with us. Good luck this year. You got a whole city behind you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we've told everybody who'll listen to us that the Craig Stammen we got a chance to know here is going to be in a perfect situation. So we wish you the best.
Helps. We got a lot of good players, so we'll be fine.
No doubt.
That's true.
Craig Stammen joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. And Craig, you get asked pretty much. I'm here every day. You get pretty much asked every day about your lineup. There was a couple times I felt in particular that you were messing with everybody out there.
Why don't you ask him what his lineup's going to be the second game instead of opening day lineup?
We're
Hour number 2 of Chris Ello, Matt Skraby. No Tony Gwynn Jr. today. He and the Padres wrapped up spring training. Tony will be on his way back to San Diego along with the Padres today. Off days tomorrow and Wednesday for the Friars. Tony will be in studio with us. We'll all be together in studio tomorrow. We're really excited by that.
Reunited and it feels so good.
Are you Peaches or Herb there?
I'll be Peaches.
You want to be Peaches?
Sure.
Okay, I'll be Herb then.
I don't know.
I'll let you be
about
Peaches.
This.
That was the name of the group. Peaches and Herb sang that song.
That is a dumb name.
That's their name. There was a
Peaches
duo.
and Herb.
Peaches and Herb sang the song Reunited, and it feels so good.
Wow.
Peaches was a woman. And you just
I'll be fine with I'm fine with being Peaches.
You're Peaches. Okay. Odds to make the playoffs. National League. Dodgers are minus 5,000 to make the playoffs. That means if you bet $5,000 for them to make the playoffs and they make it, you get $100.
Yeah.
That is insane. Why would anybody bet that?
Well, it's because you bet a lot of money on a pretty, quote, sure thing.
I know. Mets are minus 350. I wouldn't bet 350 to win 100 on the Mets.
They've got a guy.
The Mets scare me every time. They didn't make it last year.
They've got a guy in right field that is making his major league debut.
He's supposed to be good.
Yeah.
But Benj, I believe his last name is. Phillies are minus 310. Cubs minus 250. I know you're waiting to hear the Padres name called.
I am.
Braves are minus 170. Sixth choice. Brewers minus 120. Padres are your seventh choice. I believe there's only 6 playoff teams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they got the Padres as seventh choice, so plus 100. So if you bet 100, you'd win, I guess, 100 and 200. I don't know. You don't win much. About even odds for the Padres to make the playoffs is what they're saying. Reds are next. On down the line, Giants, Diamondbacks, Pirates, Marlins, Cardinals, Nationals. Rockies, you bet 100? 35 hundo for Drew Goodman's team. American League.
To make the playoffs?
Yeah, to make the playoffs.
I'm surprised it's that. That should be higher. It should be like plus 10,000.
$3,500 if the Rockies make the playoffs. Mariners, Yankees, Blue Jays are top 3 in the American League. All right, I'm not going to read all those. Let's do a daily gambit, though. And coming up in 10 minutes, how it took me 9 hours to get home from Peoria Friday night. But first, we got to see what's going on.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting bet segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. We didn't make any bets last week, or on Friday at least.
No, we were out and about in Peoria. We are broadcasting today live from the Bill House Studios, where we know how. All right, I'll give you a couple of games coming up tonight. NCAA women's basketball. By the way, after the first round, there was like no upsets at all.
Yeah,
in the women's bracket. But today, there's an upset, a big one. Virginia, the 10th seed, took out the Iowa Hawkeyes, double overtime in the women's game. Iowa's the 2 seed. So if you're a men's Iowa fan, yesterday was happy days.
Yeah.
Women's fan today, not so happy for Iowa. So Virginia moves into the Sweet 16. That's a surprise. Notre Dame is about to take out Ohio State, which is a 6 seed over a 3. So that's a mild surprise in the women's tournament. But we got UConn coming up against Syracuse. UConn favored by 37.5. This is a second-round NCAA game, and they're favored by 37.5 points. I'll take UConn. They're not going to take it easy in a tournament game, I wouldn't think.
I'm just going to say that Syracuse made it that far, so I don't think they lose by 38.
They won a game in the tournament. They're not going to win a second. The thing is UConn has obliterated everybody this year by 40 points a game in the women's, but I think UCLA may have a shot at them at the end. We'll see if UCLA's got to get there. All right, here's an interesting matchup, I think, in the women's basketball tonight. Top seed USC taking on USC.
Oh, South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina taking on USC, the women of Troy. Dawn Staley at home, 23.5-point favorite over the Trojans.
Now, they lost their best player, right?
They
USC.
did. Juju Watkins never played at all this season. USC still got into the tournament, won their first-round game.
I'm going to go South Carolina.
You're going to go
Dawn. They seem to have a killer instinct in the tournament.
I'm going to take my friend Beth Burns, assistant coach, USC. Should not let them lose by 29. Okay, UCLA.
24, you mean?
24, right? It's 23.5. I tried to give myself an extra few points there. UCLA's 28.5 over Oak State. That's in
These are second-round games?
I know. Isn't that crazy? I'm going to take UCLA. I said earlier, I think UCLA can, if they can get there, can give UConn a problem in the finals, if they can get to it.
I'll trust your judgment, UCLA.
All right, let's go to the NBA. Lakers at Detroit. Is there anybody better than the Lakers? Did you see their win the other night?
I didn't.
1 second to go. They inbound the ball. Luke Kennard throws up a 3 and it goes in.
Yes, I did see
and
that.
they win again.
It's going to come to an end.
Well, every winning streak does come to an end, but right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row, including 5-0 on the road trip so far. Wow. And they beat good teams. They're going to beat they're 4-0 on the road trip. Tonight's the 5th game. Detroit's had the best record in the East. The Lakers are favored by 1.5. I think you're up.
Cade Cunningham has a collapsed lung.
Unbelievable, right? honestly, that's where we start saying, I don't, never mind this, that, and the other. I just hope that guy's okay.
Yeah, collapsed lung is very serious. I'm going to say Lakers.
Lakers keep it going. Yeah, without Cade Cunningham, Detroit is not nearly the same. I think you got to ride the hot hand. I agree. I hate to do it, but I'm going to go Lake Show. Luka, 35.5 points. Pretty soon you're just going to have to do his over-under at like 50.
Yeah.
The guy gets 60. He gets 40. He gets 38. There's no stopping this guy. And the Mavericks just handed him over. It's incredible. The only thing I want to say on Luka is just stop whining to the refs, Luka.
He won't. He will never.
I know, but he doesn't need to. He's so good. The guy's dribbling over on the bench, and he throws it up on 1 foot, and it just hits nothing but the bottom of the net.
Is that true?
There's
a video out there?
No, I'm saying in the game. He'll be standing like right in front of the bench, but in the court.
Yeah.
He'll go off 1 foot. He'll land in the stands.
Yeah.
But the ball will go right in.
It's like when he fell off the court that one time.
And then he'll ask for a foul as he's running back.
Where's my foul?
Yeah, it's a foul. The thing is, it probably is a foul, but he doesn't need it.
So are you going over or under?
I guess after that, I better go over.
I'll go over as well.
Clippers minus 13.5 at home against the Bucks. The Bucks have stopped here.
Yeah, they are terrible.
The Clippers are 1 game under 500. I believe I saw something that if they finish over 500 this year, the Clippers have 11 games left. If they finish over 500, They'd be the first team in the history of the NBA to at one point be 15 games under and then finish the season over 500. No team has ever done that. That seems like would have been done, before somewhere.
15 games is a lot.
But anyway, the Clippers are home to the Bucks. You're up, I believe.
I'll go Clippers. I think this season means a little bit more to them than the Bucks.
It's pretty smart. I'm going to go with the LAC, which always reminds me of a great Ted Leitner moment in time. I have a second. When Ted used to do the local broadcast here, when he'd show Dodger highlights, and he would only show them when the Dodgers lost. And then he would say, yes, the LACs lost to Atlanta. And he'd remind everybody the C part stood for crybabies.
Yeah.
The LA crybabies.
Yep, I do. You've said that.
Put it up on the board, LACs. I used to love that. Ted, you're always hilarious. By the way, don't look now, but both Indiana and Washington have matching 16-game losing streaks right now in the NBA.
Indiana, did they play in the finals last year?
Indiana was in the finals last year. They have the worst record in the NBA.
I know they lost their best player in the finals for the year.
Yeah.
But to go from the finals to being a garbage team like this, that's crazy.
It's funny, too, because nobody's talking about tanking, but you got two teams with the worst record, and they're like staring at each other going, we can lose more than you can. No, we can lose more than you can. We can lose more than you can.
What a bunch of losers, Chris.
They both have 16-game losing streaks matching. The NBA is a weird place. I don't get how they even. All right. Break time, says Skraby. Those are our picks for today. We only have 6.
That's okay.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
I wanted to get the break because you have a story that you told me as I was driving home from Arizona.
Yeah. The story won't be as long as the time it took me and Lori and everybody to get home Friday night, but it'll be fun. It's coming up. It was not fun to go through, by the way.
No.
But I'll explain. And
get ready for anxiety, people.
Well, just get ready to hear something that'll hopefully make your life sound a little easier. And,
it will.
And less stressful.
It will.
Gwynn and Chris continues.
You're gonna feel
7.5 bet.
Oh my goodness. I almost swore.
They're in the first quarter. UConn 28, Syracuse 8. I mentioned this earlier this year. I mean, I appreciate the fact that UConn's a fantastic team. I appreciate the fact that Gino Auriemma is really is a terrific coach. And I think in general, people think, you know what, of course he's good. He just gets the best players and, how could he lose? But I will tell you, the Aztecs played them when I broadcast a couple games. One was here many years ago. One was there. UConn plays the game almost perfectly. They teach them, and those kids execute really, really well. It's not just like they roll the ball out and beat you with, athleticism only. Although
you can't leave people for wide open threes.
31-8. But what I was going to bring up, At what point do you get bored of winning every game by 40 points? And I think you said I never would get bored of that.
I never would get bored.
You wouldn't?
I would keep challenging myself to win by more.
What do you challenge yourself to? I mean,
okay, we won by 40 today. Let's see if we can win by 42 today.
Really?
Yeah. Or tomorrow.
I mean, honestly, I would almost after a while go, God, I hope we have a game where it's even at least remotely a challenge.
Well, do you think that
I'm just
the way they dominate everything, that playing close games is something they're not used to?
I think honestly, they just put something up on the screen, and if I read it right, it said they had one single-digit game this year.
Well, that's crazy.
They number 6 Michigan, way early in the year, they beat by 3 points. And I'm just looking at I don't see another single-digit game. And most of them are 40-point games, not, never mind 11 or 12. I don't know. I would find that to be really ho-hum after a while.
I think women's college basketball definitely needs a revamp, because there's like teams that are really, really good, and then there's no one else that can really chase them. I have a theory, Chris, before we get into your story about your drive home.
Okay.
There wasn't many Cinderella upsets in this men's side of the tournament so far.
It's the second year in a row that no mid-majors made the Sweet 16.
See, this is where
second year in a row.
This is where I think my theory might be correct.
Okay.
NIL has forced the good teams to have all the good players because they can pay more. And the mid-majors can't pay as much, so they're not going to get the number one player. Back in the day, it was, hey, come to our school. You're going to be the starter all 4 years. We're going to give you all the time. Now we're going to give you $7 million. And now you don't get those players in the mid-American or mid-major schools.
Yeah, you're not saying something, honestly, that pretty much everybody's been saying, is that the
so
haves,
my theory is right.
It's right. It is 100% right. The haves and have-nots, the spread is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And so, you got 2 straight years where no mid-majors made the Sweet 16. None. And that hadn't happened in like 30 years before that. So even though you've had a couple of upsets, the upsets were produced by Iowa and Texas, where they both have plenty of money.
Hey, yeah, their upset is based on their seeding.
Kentucky spent $22 million on their roster to get obliterated by Iowa State yesterday. And they asked Mark Pope about the claim that the kid from Michigan made, Lendenberg, he's like the star from Michigan. He said he was offered between $7 and $9 million to go to Kentucky and turned it down. They asked Mark Pope about it, the Kentucky coach. He did not deny that they offered that. He wouldn't admit to it, but he didn't deny it, which tells me that
kid said no.
They offered.
Good for him.
He took. I think he's getting 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think. He's seven.
Yeah,
that's a different.
$22 million for Kentucky to lose in the second round.
I mean, that's a major failure.
It's a major failure, but it just shows you how much money's out there.
Yeah,
I could have used some of that money Friday night. Skraby.
No.
Got in the car to drive home at 6:15 after our show from Peoria. Wife, her mom, Carrie, picked me up at the ballpark, gassed up, everything packed up, jetted on out towards San Diego, California, leaving at 6:15. I was thinking I'd make a stop or two, just for a quick bite or, take a restroom break. So, 5 hours, 5:15, should be home by 11:30. We got about, I'm going to say 30 minutes down the road, and the old tire pressure light came on. Ding, ding, ding. Tire pressure was low in the right front tire. Not great. Pulled off the side of the road. Now, if I was driving, I would probably push it a little further just to see what happened, but not with, if I was the only one in the car, I was driving, but with my wife and her mom in the car, you're getting off right here, so of course I got right off. Found some air.
This is trouble.
It was trouble. Put air in the tire and forgot about it. I'm like, it was just one of those things.
Yeah.
Got another 45 minutes down the road. We were in Buckeye, Arizona.
I remember passing this sign.
There's a sign. It's just after you get off the 10 freeway and start heading south toward the 8 freeway.
They took us a new way.
If you've done this Phoenix thing before.
Yeah.
So we're in Buckeye. Light comes on again. Immediately get off. There's a mini mart. There's a Shell station. And there is nothing else for miles. I go to put air in the tire again, and my wife says, we're not doing this. And I have to say she's right, because obviously the air was going to run out like every half hour the rest of the way home. And if you've ever driven Phoenix to San Diego, there's stretches that are a lot longer than a half hour where there's nowhere to get off the freeway.
Yeah.
You can't risk it. I would have risked it if I was alone, because that's me.
Now,
I'm Johnny Gambler. But
how much air did you need?
It went from like 40 tire pressure. It said 26.
That's a decent amount.
Yeah.
That's a decent amount.
So we pulled off the side of the road and are in this place, and we're like, what are we going to do? Lori calls. First thing was, let's just call AAA. We're members. We've been members for, I got my card here, Skraby. I think I've been a member of AAA for 37 years. I probably used them like 3 times.
Which is most people.
Right? 37 years. I'm like, let's call these guys. Get them out here. Let's earn some of the money I pay them every year. Go to the back to get the spare tire out, and then I'm going to have the guy come change the tire, and we're going to drive home. There is no spare tire in the rental car. Did I say I was in a rental car? I don't think I had mentioned that before.
I think it's well established because we talked about it. But yes, you're in a rental car.
For those who are new to the situation, it was a rental car. Avis was the company. I'm going to throw them under the bus, and I don't mind doing so. They did not put a spare tire in there. Well, now we're stuck, and we're in Buckeye, and there's nothing for 30 miles in any direction. So we call Avis, and it must have taken Lori at least a half an hour to get a voice on the other end of the phone. And then another half hour.
Didn't even think about that.
Right. And then another half hour. It's Friday night. It's 7:00 now, 7:15.
So people are probably traveling, getting their cars elsewhere.
Well, there's nothing open. There's nobody anywhere. Anyway, they finally get on the phone. It takes Lori another 45 minutes to find out what we're going to be doing and what they're going to offer and how they're going to take care of us. The offer, we'll give you a voucher to pay for an Uber drive back to the Phoenix airport to pick up a new car. We've already gone an hour and a half on our journey. They wanted to drive us back to Phoenix.
Are you kidding me?
That's what I said. Guess what we did, Skrabe?
Oh, no.
Got an Uber ride back to the Phoenix airport.
Which has got to be an hour.
An hour and a half. We were already an hour and a half in. We had to go an hour and a half back.
How much did that Uber cost?
I don't know, but we didn't have to pay for it. The fine folks at Avis picked up that tab. We even looked into an Uber ride home to San Diego. That was like well over $1,100, so we weren't doing that.
My thing is, where's the spare tire?
No spare tire.
We had to wait. Need those things.
We had to wait for the Uber. By the time we get back to the Phoenix airport and started on our journey again, it was now 9:45.
Oh, no.
We were 3.5 hours into a trip and hadn't moved yet.
Oh man, this hurts my soul because I
kept Skraby up to date. He was driving home and he was like, I wish I could do something, which there was nothing you could do.
Yeah, my phone, when I plug it into the car, it goes do not disturb, so I don't see text messages. So I checked and I saw this long text about Chris telling me about this saga. And I was like,
the saga, yeah.
How can I help? And he's like, there's nothing you can do. We're going back to the airport now.
We went back to the Phoenix. If we would have drove an hour and a half in the wrong direction, but just not back to the Phoenix airport, it would have felt better.
Yeah.
It was just that we were retracing an hour and a half of what we already had driven.
And then
had to drive it again.
And then when you get to the Avis counter, you have to deal with all that.
Do you know how long that took? Another half. Anyway, right. So we got home instead of at 11:30 at about 3:42. That's about 4.5 hours later, but it's about a 9-hour journey. Total time. And of course, if anybody knows my wife, the lovely Lori out there, you know damn well that the first thing we did upon awakening Saturday morning. Call Avis and demand our money back.
What did they say? Did they have an explanation why the spare tire wasn't there?
Of course not. I was the main caller. Although it was on speaker, so she was right there to pick me up if need be. I laid out this horror story, and they offered half of our money back.
No.
And I was surprised that Lauriello said, well, the guy's explanation was, they did pay to pick us up. They did pay to take us and give us a new car. It cost us 4 hours of time. But as they said, I mean, we had the rental car for like 5 days, and for 4 days, it was really good.
That doesn't count.
Hey, if you're out there, understand, Avis may pull this crap on you next time. Get somebody else. This is how I'm getting them back for the other $250 they didn't return to me, by giving them not just a bad report online somewhere, but announcing to everybody in San Diego, Avis sucks.
You know what I'm going to do next time I get into a rental car? I am checking if it has a spare tire. It never occurred to me.
That's not a bad idea.
Never occurred to me that could be missing.
I do think if we had a spare tire, it would have taken a while for AAA to get there because we were in the middle of nowhere. But we certainly wouldn't have had to go back to Phoenix.
No.
We could have got the tire changed and driven home and given them a crappy car at the end.
Did they? Adam Paul is asking. Did they just exchange the car?
Yes.
So you left the car all the way out there. So someone from Avis has to go get it.
They had to call their own tow truck service to come get it. Yes.
KG says use.
But we didn't have to wait
kit.
for that.
The patch kit. Even me, it would be. I'm savvy with fixing things. The patch kit on the side of the road at night on a Friday in 100 degrees would be tough.
Understand that I do a radio show. I don't change tires. Okay.
Well, I do, and I couldn't even do it.
Right. I'm not doing that. Number one. Number two, I have my wife and her mother in the car. We're not driving home in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere on a patch kit. It's not happening.
I wouldn't be. What about Fix-A-Flat?
They would not have approved.
Oh, well, that's not that. Wait, they as in Avis or
they as in my wife and her mom.
What if you guys went into the gas station and got Fix-A-Flat? You're not supposed to drive for a long time on that, but it's not your car, and they didn't give you a tire.
I would have, if it was me, I would have filled it up with air, and then I would have stressed to make it to the next thing and filled it up with air again.
Kind of would too.
Stress the next thing and fill it up with air again. Stress the next place and fill it up with air until I got home. That's what I would have done.
Chris, when I was really poor and I couldn't afford a tire, I used to just fill up my tire every day.
I would have done that, and who knows if I would have made it, but that's what I would have done. We did not do that.
Well, I'm glad that you guys are okay, but that is rough.
9 hours.
And you guys were even thinking about staying over on Friday night. Might as well just done that.
Right. At that point, we should have. But, we wanted to get home like a lot of people, and we said, let's just go.
All right.
All righty. It's UConn. It's now UConn 40, Syracuse 8. It's only the second quarter. Like, why even finish the game from here?
I don't know.
Just call it off. We're going to talk with Jake Ariani.
Gary Annie.
He changes his name every time.
No, it's the same. Gary Annie.
That's
like
right.
the name Gary.
You're right.
And the name Annie.
Gary Annie. KFMB.
Yes.
Sports
KFMB.
guy.
Yep. Channel
Good
8.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
What's he got? Padres stuff?
He was out at spring training last week.
Talk to him when we come back. More Gwynn and Chris ahead.
At Better Buzz.
Do you know how many kids probably in their backyard pause before they go around third base?
I just was at a Little League game yesterday, so I saw plenty of it. Oh,
yeah,
100%.
see? Yeah.
Todd, you obviously have had some tremendous success in this league, but there's still a long way for you to go. I mean, what is it that you want to accomplish individually? I know we know what the end goal is for this ball club. That's to win a World Series, but for you in particular, what are some of the things you're focused on for yourself this year?
I mean, everybody knows, including myself, there's a next level to my game. And, I've been given a small portion of it, given a small taste to the people out there, including to myself. So, just bring that consistency of what I can really do on a baseball field on a long-term basis. And, hopefully compete for that MVP that I know I'm capable of. But it's a matter of fact, just really putting the work and staying locked in to really make it happen.
Yeah. Last thing for me, Fernando, appreciate this. So obviously, what does winning not one, but, cementing yourself as a great outfielder to win a second glove, not Gold Glove,
platinum
glove.
Short change,
no, man. Especially when you were a shortstop, right? I mean, people kind of forget about this. You did this at a second position. What does that mean to you, and just in being able to show people your dedication to your craft?
Man, a lot of hard work, a lot of great people around me, helping me, to stay focused out there, to really practice on what it needs to be to get better as an outfielder. But man, it's just a true blessing, to people to see the hard work, see the dedication, see the work that we're putting on the field, and really just glad that I made it happen that way, especially like you said, going to my second position. So just hopefully, trying to keep that good work and cement myself even a little bit more to keep winning it, or keep bringing that gold and platinum. So there's a lot of baseball ahead of me, so just looking forward to that challenge.
Last one for me, Toddy. You sent the Padre folks in a tizzy when you were doing so well in the leadoff spot for the Dominican Republic. They've been peppering Stam here, and if that is going to be the same
as
thing
if
here,
we get to write the name in,
right? Do you have a preference? I know you're going to hit wherever they ultimately ask you to hit, but is there a comfort level at a certain spot?
I don't really know, man. I don't really go where I'm hitting. It's just, I'm a baseball geek. So I want to see how is the best construction of our lineup look, and from there, I know I'm capable of checking in on whatever area that you want me to. So I'm more focused on that than where I'm going to be myself. Know, it's like
how the lineup works best.
Yeah, how can this offense work at its best, and how can everybody check into their best tools? I'm more into that area. So if that's first or second, third, or fourth, I'm going to be there. So whatever my manager wants me to play the best baseball game this season, I'm going to be ready for battle.
It's a good thing he said that, because Stammen was with us early. Said Fermin's going to bat second. You're batting eighth this year. So I hope that's. He didn't tell you. Oh my God! It was just. I wasn't supposed to say. Thanks, Fernando.
Todd, we appreciate your time, man. Thanks for coming on, spending time. Welcome back, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Good to be around.
Do you know how many kids probably in their backyard pause before they go around third base?
I just was at a Little League game yesterday, so I saw plenty of it. Oh,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Todd, you obviously have had some tremendous success in this league, but there's still a long way for you to go. I mean, what is it that you want to accomplish individually? I know we know what the end goal is for this ball club. That's to win a World Series, but for you in particular, what are some of the things you're focused on for yourself this year?
I mean, everybody knows, including myself, there's a next level to my game. And, I've been given a small portion of it, given a small taste to the people out there, including to myself. So, just bring that consistency of what I can really do in a baseball field on a long-term basis. And, hopefully compete for that MVP that I know I'm capable of. But it's a matter of fact, just really putting the work and staying locked in to really make it happen.
Yeah. Last thing for me, Fernando, appreciate this. So obviously, what does winning, not one, but,
right now, before he comes on the show, I should smile. He's one of those guys that says I don't smile.
I've actually been thinking about whether or not he's going to, you kind of put your foot down last time.
I'm smiling right now. Because I'm happy that Jake Garriani is going to be coming on the show. Padres, he was there at spring training. He's always got some good stuff. He's a KFMB sports caster, and will join us here in just a moment to talk about the Friars, who finished up spring training with a 10-3 conquest of the Mariners today. It was all wrapped up on the Romeo Sanabria Grand Slam, which took place in the eighth inning, an 8-run eighth inning. Padres win 10-3, and now everybody comes home. A couple days off, and then Thursday, tee it up for good against the Detroit Tigers. Couple of baseball notes that you might want to know. Spencer Strider, injured list. It's the last thing the Braves wanted to hear. Last thing any Spencer Strider fans wanted to hear. I know he had to be somewhat hurt, but how could a guy of that ability go 7-14 with a 4.45 ERA last year? Ooh. 7-14.
Sorry to cut you off, Chris, but I just got some news about Padres players.
All right.
Jason Adam is to start the season on the IL.
I thought that might happen.
German Marquez is the fifth starter, it seems like.
Right.
So, but the big news, Jason Adams going to start the season on IL.
Okay. But we already thought that. That's
earlier. Not what I wasn't thinking that, because they said he was going to, last week when we were talking to them, they were like, he's going to be back by opening day.
Yeah, but why rush it?
No, I get it.
What's the hurry?
No, there's no hurry.
No hurry. Jason Allen will be on the injured list the first little while. Spencer Strider will be too. This is a guy that won 20 games in 2023, had 281 Ks. That's a ton in this day and age. Almost had 300. And last year, 7-14, 4.45. Strider's 27 years old. Hey, that's what happens when you throw that hard for that long. Maybe. I hate to say it.
Don't disagree.
A couple of other IL notes. Seiya Suzuki, Cubs will open on the injured list as well. He was hurt in the World Baseball Classic quarterfinal. Not good news for the Cubs. He had, he had 87 home runs, not last year.
Oh, that would be great.
In his career with the Cubs.
That would be great. And he's on my fantasy team. Had no idea that he was injured.
You won't have him at the beginning. Couple of quick notes also.
We have a guest, Chris. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I'm just trying. Is he online?
No, I said we go to traffic and they'll call him.
Yeah, I'm going to finish this up. It'll take 30 seconds. Carson Benj for the Mets opens on the opening day roster. Phenom outfielder. And one more Phenom, Cardinals prospect J.J. Weatherholt will probably be the starter at second base. He's the 5th-ranked prospect in baseball. The top-ranked prospect, Connor Griffin, down he goes to the minor leagues. All right, check traffic. Go.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Tough stuff on southbound 5 this afternoon. A crash at Genesee blocking the 2 left lanes. Apparently, this was touched off by somebody doing about 90 miles per hour. Also, southbound 805 past Nobel, overturned crash blocking that right lane. Up ahead, another problem right around the 8th. This is a stalled motorcycle in the center divide, very narrow center divide, so please take it extra carefully there. Also traveling on eastbound 8 near Mission Center Road. Collision over to the right shoulder. Another accident up ahead near the 15. This one appears to be blocking the 2 left lanes. Emergency crews on scene. And northbound side of the 805 near Murray Ridge, we have reports of some tire debris in middle lanes. San Diego drivers, keep moving with Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Their expert technicians help keep your vehicle and everyone in it safe and road ready. Stay in your car, no appointment needed. Save at SoCalOilChange.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change. And Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, Jake Garriani from CBS, KFMB, Channel 8, locally, joining us. What?
I just love our 800 names that we have. We're working on our branding, baby. CBS 8, KFMB, local 8. We gotta pick one.
You're all of those and more. Jake Garriani is our guest. Sports guy on Channel 8. Talking some baseball here. Jake, it is about time. Spring training is over. And it seemed like we were just celebrating the beginning of it, but I think we're really celebrating the end of it. Don't you think?
I think always. It's exciting, man. It's exciting every time a new year rolls around and we get to start talking about games that count and stats that are going to stick around in history and all that stuff. And I think, there's a lot of optimism this year for the Padres, and I think rightfully so. And I know we'll get into more of it, but it's always a thrill when we're days away from Tarek Skubal facing Nick Pivetta at Petco Park.
Let's go. What's funny is because you said there's a lot of optimism. I agree with you, but I felt like in the months of January, February, maybe let's say December, January, maybe early February, I thought there was not a lot of optimism. And I think what happened was the Dodgers signed Kyle Tucker. The Dodgers signed Edwin Diaz. The Padres re-signed Michael King, but people didn't seem to think that was anything. And so we didn't make the big splash, as they call it, in the offseason here in San Diego. And so I think people were like, what are we doing? Why are we not doing anything? The ownership is up in the air. But I also think now that we got into spring training, people looked at the team and said, wait a minute, we still have a lot of really good players here.
Certainly. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. You watch a lot of other teams making all those big moves where the Padres sat pat for a lot of the beginning parts of the year and even going into spring training until AJ started to make some signings here and there. And yeah, people are going, hey, we need some pieces in here to make this roster complete. We got to do some stuff. And then AJ did his thing. And I think, a lot of it that people focus on going into the year is this offense. I think this offense is set to be a lot better than it was a season ago. And you look at some of the key signings, I think Miguel Andujar is about to have a really nice year with the San Diego Padres. And you look at, I think Fernando is going to be healthy and really good again this season. So I do think there is that optimism there. Now, I do have concern with the starting rotation in the pitching. But yeah, I could see why the optimism is built up. And again, you get this close to opening day. Everyone feels like they got a chance, right? I mean, unless you're the Colorado Rockies.
Hey, funny you say that.
Don't say that. We had Drew Goodman on earlier, and he was like, yeah, we're feeling pretty good. And he did.
He said, now I know this is everyone's
right. He said,
time
I know
to feel
this is
good.
crazy, but he goes, I think we feel better, so maybe it'll work. Go ahead.
The Rockies cut his paycheck, right?
Yes, the Rockies do cut. Or actually, the Rockies cut his paycheck.
The Rockies do, yeah.
We're talking to Jake Garrietti here from CBS 8 or KFMB or Local 8 or whatever we're calling it these days. You can see him on weekday nights. Is that correct, Jake?
You can see me all over the place, but yeah, mostly weekday nights, and we'll be out there all day opening day as well. I'm working from 5 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. opening day.
Oh my goodness!
I look for the KFMB sports report, but I don't have a schedule of Jake Garrietti appearances in front of me.
I think
I have to take a shot. Yeah.
Well, Jake, what I'm going to ask you is, this is the hot topic of spring training. Who should lead off? Should Fernando lead off? Oh no, he's leading off in the World Baseball Classic and he's doing really well. We should have him lead off. I personally like him at the cleanup spot to at least start. Where would you go with Fernando in the order?
I definitely think down the order. I've heard the arguments all over the place for all sorts of things. I'm not a huge fan of Fernando Tatis Jr. at the top of the lineup. I understand why people are, right? He brings energy, he's got speed, he can do all the things that a good leadoff hitter can do. But I definitely prefer him down in the order in that 3-4 area. If you got to put him 2, I guess, but I prefer him in that 3-4 spot. Traffic, more runners on, more opportunities to make things happen. I think this team really doesn't have a true leadoff hitter, and we kind of learned that in spring with the way they're playing around with the lineups. But I do like the idea of Jake Cronenworth being at the top there. I think one thing Jake does really well is he always puts together great at-bats. And so now you're seeing a lot of pitches for the next guys in the lineup, and you're making that starter work right away when you got a guy like Jake up there. So I think because of the lack of true leadoff hitter that this team has and what Jake could do in an at-bat, I like him there, and I like moving Fernando down 3-4 area for sure.
We're going to find out right away because you got the game Thursday, and you got a lefty in Skubal. You got another lefty Friday in Framber Valdez. And these are like not just any lefties. These are like top-notch lefties. So I don't think Jake will bat leadoff the first 2 games. But doesn't mean that he won't bat lead off, once they settle into things. So it'll be interesting. I think they might go Xander or they may go Fernando just in the opening game. We'll have to see for the first couple. Jake Garrietti is with us from CBS Channel 8 here, talking some Padres. All right, so you're around this team. The vibe seems good, but I also know that it always seems good, right, in spring training. What do you think of the Craig Stammen world? One thing that Skraby and I noticed, I don't know if you caught this at all while you were out there, Jake, but there was a lot more family around. I saw a lot of wives. I saw a lot of kids. I saw a lot of family. I saw an ice cream truck. And people may say, well, what is all that? And I'm like, no, I like this, man. Let's make it a family atmosphere. There's nothing wrong with that, I don't think.
No, not at all. And I've been out in Peoria 3 different times this season already, so I feel like I'm a resident of Peoria. But to your point, I think that like Craig Stammen, the vibes are going to be no issue with this team. Like, he is a player's manager. We've learned that already. He knows a lot of these guys super, super well. The vibes will be just fine. It's just like the vibes are always good, like you mentioned, going into the year, and the vibes are always good when you're winning. We'll see how Craig starts to handle things if there are those rough patches, which are inevitable. They're going to happen during a baseball season. So I'm very curious to see, when this team hits that first rough patch, or maybe the season isn't going exactly as they think at some point, how he handles all of that. Because, it's probably pretty easy to be the manager before you've actually managed any games yet. So I'm excited for Craig Stammen. I think, one of the things we're going to start to see once we get into this season is truly the manager Craig is. You get a touch of it in spring training, but you're not managing those games the way you're going to manage game 42, game 76, and game 104. So I think we're going to learn a ton about Craig in this first year, and he's going to learn a ton as he goes. But to your point, Chris, I think the vibes will be just fine. I think the energy in the clubhouse will definitely be a tick up from the Schilt years and the Melvin years, just because of the type of person Craig is. I talked to a lot of players out there, and I genuinely felt people are very excited to play for Craig Stammen. So, again, we'll see how it goes, but maybe there is those rough patches. But you can tell the genuine excitement from the players that they're excited to have Craig Stammen as their manager.
Absolutely. I 100% feel that as well. We're talking to Jake Garriani from CBS 8 here on 97.3 The Fan on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bang Banking. It's better. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, and you can't just give me an easy answer like pitching's good. Okay. If the Padres win the World Series, what needs to happen this year?
Fernando Tatis
in Los Angeles?
No, earthquake. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, that's not it?
Maybe, actually.
Okay.
I think obviously it's not just one thing, but I'll give you a couple. I think Fernando Tatis Jr. needs to have an MVP or MVP caliber season, and Manny Machado needs to post up in his upper echelon of stats that we know he can do. And then there's going to need to be somebody that really grabs the bull by the horns outside of the big three in that rotation and has a really solid year. Somebody that I don't think we're thinking of. Like, we know, obviously, Pivetta and Joe once he's healthy, and Michael, and I even think Randy Vasquez is about to have a really good year. But, like, one of those other guys that they brought in, I think needs to put together a breakout season for the Padres, because I do have concerns going into the season with their starting pitching. I know AJ brought in a lot of arms to kind of hedge his bets, if you will, but now you're looking at like, all right, yeah, you got a lot of arms, you got a lot of veteran guys, but someone's got to step up and pitch well. And I get it, spring training. I totally get it, and I know people are going to roll their eyes at me, but the pitching we saw at the end of spring training left a lot to be desired. So when you start to look at some of these arms, I think to win that World Series you talk about, definitely one of those guys that's not, maybe on the big radar is going to have a huge year. I think Fernando's going to have that MVP type season. And then, it's the same thing we talked about. The stars got to be stars for the San Diego Padres. It's the way this roster is built. It's the way these contracts have been made. Those dudes got to be the guys.
Gotta be. By the way, I'm not rolling my eyes because I've been saying the exact same thing. And I'm going to give you, I said this earlier, but for those who missed it, these are the ERAs for the starting five, just spring training numbers. Pivetta 8.25, King 10.19, Vasquez 4.91, which is good comparatively. Buehler 6.60. Marquez 9.26, although that improved a little today.
These aren't gas prices you're giving me?
Right. Those are high inflated numbers. Let's hope that once they reset at 0, things go a little better. Jake, always a pleasure. I hope you know I've been smiling throughout the interview.
Can you hear a smile, Jake?
Can you hear my smile?
I wasn't going to say anything this time around because I think I poked the bear too many times and I felt bad. Chris, you live your life. You let your light shine, baby. You know I love you. You know I love both of you guys.
Yeah.
And I know you guys keep it rocket, man.
Thanks, Jake.
Thank you, Jake.
See you soon.
Appreciate you guys.
Good stuff. Jake Garriani from Channel 8. You can watch him on the news in the evenings. In the evenings, mostly. It's hard. When I grew up, I know the old days.
I mean,
but they used to have like the news at 5 and the news at 11.
Do.
I know, but now they have the news at 5, 6:30, 7:45, 8:15, 9:05.
How else are we going to keep up on the gas prices?
UConn 65, Syracuse 12 at halftime.
And UConn
is a tournament game.
Where the UConn is full court pressing. That is wrong.
I have no respect for that. Honestly.
Wrong.
Come on.
Wrong.
Come on, Gino. You're up by 53 at the half. Chris versus the fans. 833-288-0973. Let's play. spring training is over. At least it is for the Padres. They played their last game today, a 10-3 victory over the Mariners. Finish up 15-15 with one tie. Spring training. So now we're back to 0-0. And it'll all start on Thursday with Tarek Skubal facing who? Nick Pivetta, the final starter, opening day starter named in all of Major League Baseball.
Do you think he knew when he was sitting down with us that he was going to be the opening day starter?
And so did Craig Stammen know.
Yeah.
When
I don't understand
Tony
the
asked
secrecy. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't. It's not like the Tigers, don't have 3 days to plan their lineup right now. So what would have been the difference of giving them 4 days to plan their lineup?
I don't really think there's yeah, you're right.
Thank you. Anyway, Padres win. I think the highlight of the day, German Marquez, 4 1/3 innings, 8 strikeouts. Hopefully that is a sign of good things to come. Jason Adam will open the season on the injured list. I believe who's our little guy? The little lefty, that we love from Japan. He's going to be on the
Yuki Matsui.
Yuki's going to be on the injured list as well. And I don't know. They haven't announced anything official with Sung Moon Song yet. I don't know.
He played today.
He played today, but they don't have a spot for him that I know of on the roster unless they're going to carry 5 bench players. Right now, I got to believe Ty France, who we heard over the weekend, is making it.
They already said he was making it.
Castellanos is going to be a bench player, although he may start Saturday or Thursday because the lefty's on the mound.
Yep.
And then Bryce Johnson, to me, is going to make, the outfield thing. And then Camposano has to be your 4th. You have to have a backup catcher. So if you're going to have a 5th bench player, maybe that would be, Song. But, we'll see what they do. They might have to put him on the injured list. I mean, look, Jason Adam pitched today an inning and understand he's opening on the injured list. So it's not that you can finagle this.
You're right.
We'll see where it goes. Padres will announce it all in the next, 48 hours or so. But
they're going to make us wait until Thursday morning.
Actually, first pitch is at what, 105?
110.
110? They'll announce the final roster at 108.
Thankfully, I think they have to have it in.
I know. Padres love to make you wait. They love to make you wait.
They've been better in recent years.
There's two things.
It was the Jace Tinkler year.
There's two things. I know, but there's 2 things that the Padres you can guarantee, not a criticism. It's just facts are facts. If somebody gets hurt, they're going to tell you it's 2 or 3 days, even when we have no idea what it's going to be. That's one thing. And secondly, they're going to be as secretive as they can possibly be.
You know what was a little concerning for me when we were out there? I did not see Joe Musgrove once. And not that he's going to be throwing or anything. I didn't expect that. I just expected to see him walking around. I don't know that this really means anything. I don't know if you picked up on that, Chris, but I didn't see him once.
Doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Joe Musgrove's going to miss a while, I believe. I said it when he got hurt. And they said it would be a couple of days. And I said, no, it won't.
During our fantasy baseball draft, we all came up with we all surmised that it's going to be like a Blake Snell thing. They're going to save Joe for the second half.
Till August?
No, till like June or July.
All right. We'll see how that goes. But Joe will be on the injured list along with several others when the season begins on Thursday. We talked about some baseball notes a little while ago, but the biggest one of the day is that now I forgot. Oh, Spencer Strider.
Yes.
Injured list, Atlanta Braves. There's some others. We'll cover those in a little bit. But we are about to play a round of Chris versus the fans. So get on the phone. Let's go.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Cole said on the chat, why do we need to know about the roster? Tell me the day before and I'm good. Because, Cole, and you're one of our great listeners, you know this. Everybody talks about the lineup every single day through spring training. That's why we want to know.
I like to know who's going to be on the final roster.
Yeah. And,
Cole, if you don't want to know, close your ears.
Here are the prizes. We have we have a qualification. We also have tickets that we're going to give away. So if you win today, you will win a 4-pack of tickets to the Good Guys 25th McGuire's Del Mar Nationals at Del Mar Fairgrounds, April 10th through the 12th. You will be qualified for a chance to win the grand prize, a 2-night stay at Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, and a $150 resort credit. March is here, and Fontainebleau, Las Vegas is the place to catch every game. High-energy watch parties with expansive screens, great food and drinks, exclusive room rates, plus the pools and day club are open. Book your stay today at FontainebleauLasVegas.com now.
You know, every time they have a replay in college basketball, or the pros for that matter, they have that nostril camera on the referee.
I hate it.
They're looking into the microphone, and it's like,
yeah, they're like they're like 3 centimeters away. And they're always really nervous, too, it seems like.
They're not speakers. They're referees.
Yes. Chris vs. the Fans is brought to you by Good Guys 25th McGuire's Del Mar Nationals Car Show, April 10th through the 12th at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Over 25 hot rods, muscle cars, lowriders, woodies, and more. Get details at good-guys.com. That's good-guys.com. Now, you have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it, and you'll get that question for free today.
Sorry, before we go, I got to give you one note because it involves San Diego State, a couple of college basketball coaching hires. Randy Bennett, who began his career as an assistant at USD, has been at St. Mary's forever.
Yep.
He goes on to Arizona State.
Yeah, I saw that.
New head coach. The other one, Utah State's Jared Calhoun, one and done. He's out and on his way to Cincinnati after leading the Aggies to the Mountain West title, and the Aggies will still be in the Aztecs League next year. A couple of coaching notes you needed to have.
You know, I understand that coaches are just doing what's best for their careers and everything, but the Siena guy, like, you get to the tournament and then you just jump ship.
Well, he went to Syracuse. I mean, that's a
is that
big
where he's
jump.
going?
Yeah, Jerry McNamara.
Okay, all right. Well,
that's
okay.
a big deal.
I just have a little bit of an issue. It seems like they're just throwing away their team as soon as they get what they need.
Well, this is the argument as to why players said, "Why can't we transfer?"
It's a good argument,
and that's how it started. With
right.
the coaches leaving every 5 minutes, players said, "Why can't we leave too?"
You're right,
and now they can, and now everything's crazy.
You're right. All right, let's go to our first contestant. We're going to go to Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hi, it's actually Jessica.
Jessica. All right, Jessica. Are you ready to play?
I am.
Jessica, are you stealing Steve's phone, or is he aware?
No, it's my phone. It's just under his name.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I'm going to do, Jessica, right now? I'm going in. We're changing the name to Jessica.
On our list.
We need
there.
to know
So
it's
next time we
Jessica
call
and
in.
not Steve.
All right, Jessica, let's play ball.
All right, question number 1. Who are the Padres playing on opening day?
Fair.
The Tigers?
Tigers, correct.
Jessica's off and rolling.
All right, here we go. Question number 2. What MLB team did Dennis Quaid play for in the movie The Rookie?
Hope you're a movie fan, Jessica.
Say it again. Jessica, say it one more time. Jessica, are you there?
She's kind of going in and out. We don't have a great connection with Jessica.
Jessica, can we hear you?
Jessica, hello.
Hello.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there it
Devil
is.
Rays.
Devil Rays is correct. I
Devil
thought I
Rays.
heard it, so that's why I wanted to hang on, because I didn't want to hang up when you had a right answer.
And officially, they were the Devil Rays
Yes.
at that time.
I was looking for Devil Rays.
She got it.
Very nice
She gave
job.
it to
Did you have you ever seen that movie, Chris?
No.
Okay, you should. It's a great movie.
They're all great. As far as
He's a teacher, and he makes the pros.
it was a true story.
All right, here we go, Jessica. The third and final question. Let's go with this one. What college basketball program is the only, men's college basketball program, is the only to have 20 or more Final Four appearances? You can also pass if you don't know.
20 or more Final Four appearances.
Yes.
I think she said Duke.
Oh, you said Duke.
Did you say Duke?
Yeah.
She did.
Hey, hang on. Chris can get it wrong, and you are the winner.
I think it's North Carolina.
Oh, my goodness. I thought this was going to be tough.
It is tough.
Sorry, Jessica. Thank you for playing.
Sorry,
Play
Jessica.
again.
Thanks for playing. Sorry I got it right, but it happens.
Got all the way to the third question. That's all
I knew it was
about.
either North Carolina or Duke, honestly. This was a situation where she hurt herself by guessing.
I would have thought UCLA just because of all those years.
Yeah, but they're up there, but not.
No,
not
they're not 20.
Right.
That is for sure. Let's go to Eli. Hello, Eli.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Very good, sir. Very good.
Ready to play?
Play ball here.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Let's go. I don't know if this. I made the first questions very easy. How many outs are recorded in a standard 9-inning perfect game?
27.
27 is correct. Nice job. You know what, Chris? I wouldn't have gotten that right. The math is what does it to me. Question number 2. What player sank the game-winning shot that gave Dean Smith his first NCAA title as a head coach in the 80s? What famous, legendary player sank the game-winning shot that gave Dean Smith his first NCAA title as a head coach in the 80s?
I want to pass, but I don't think I can just because I'm assuming the team is the same one that Chris just guessed. So I'm going to go with the GOAT, Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan is correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
And did you score points with you, Chris, that he said he was the GOAT?
I don't need him to tell me that, but thank you.
Okay, jeez.
There's no argument. This whole stupid thing that LeBron is better than him is just so outlandish to me that I don't even consider it.
He is better than him. So.
Don't consider it.
I'm just trying to start a fight.
Very good,
Eli. Question.
Yeah, Michael Jordan hit the winning shot in the 1982 NCAA championship
I
game.
could still see it. No 3-point line. That's all
sir.
I noticed.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 3. Tiger Woods was the number 1 golfer in the world for 264 straight weeks. That ended in 2004.
Excuse me.
What golfer took over the number 1 spot? Basically, who ended Tiger's streak at number 1 in the world?
I don't know enough golf, but I think Chris knows more than me. I got to take a shot here. I'm going to go Uncle Phil Mickelson.
Not a bad guess. Stay there.
That's who I would have guessed.
Really?
So, yeah, I don't really know. What year was it that he gave it up?
2004.
Ernie Els.
That's not a bad guess.
Who it was. It is a bad guess because it's not
you
right.
are the winner. Hang on, Eli.
I'm always happy when the people are happy.
You're going to kick. Yeah, that was a good woo by Eli. You're going to kick yourself.
Really?
Because this guy was very good for a little bit.
Okay.
Vijay Singh.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going to kick myself, but I recall VJ having a little run of
VJ, I think in 2004, if I remember correctly, he won 9 tournaments that year. And he won PGA Tour Player of the Year. I think Tiger was mostly hurt. That's
VJ
why.
just disappeared after that.
Well, VJ got. There were some HGH questions. Remember deer antler spray? Remember that stuff?
You got to cheat if you're going to beat Tiger Woods. By the way, just for fun, Syracuse is on an 11-0 run, and they've come within 45 points of the lead.
Is UConn still full court pressing?
I don't know. Anyway.
And they're just taking wide open threes. It's just ridiculous.
And making them. All right. Good job by you,
they're not
Eli.
full court pressing anymore.
You win the Chris vs. the Fans today. That was a good question, though, VJ Singh. It's not a kick yourself, but it's one where I go, oh, yeah, I kind of remember that now.
All right.
Now that you reminded me.
If Tiger Woods wasn't a golfer, Phil Mickelson would have been number 1 in the world for a while.
Yeah, Phil Mickelson lost out on a lot of fame because of Tiger Woods. But it's just the way it goes sometimes.
It does.
Ask Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, I don't know, who else you want to name?
Hakeem
John Stockton,
Olajuwon.
Karl Malone. Olajuwon actually won a couple titles in there when Jordan was on gambling vacation.
What about Mark Price?
Mark Price got beat by Jordan a lot. Some guys just,
It's
bad timing.
Greg Camarillo, always our friend who played for the Dolphins as a wide receiver. He always says, "Man, if Tom Brady didn't play in our division, because he had to play against the Patriots for most of his career."
Too bad, Greg. Too bad. Hey, timing is everything sometimes. And the timing now says take a little break from the Gwynn and Chris show. So we will do that. Are we going to check a little traffic?
Yes,
you
sir.
Say? You say yes?
Yes.
Then we will.
From the 8-5.
It's opening week of Major League Baseball. Gwynn and Chris back with you at 423. I'm Chris. That's Skraby. Tony Gwynn Jr. working his way back to San Diego with the pod. Actually, he's not working his way back. He's getting like a charter Learjet.
I heard, he's getting his
or is
own
he selling
Learjet.
or is he using the personal helicopter on this trip?
I think that's a little too far, so I think he's going with the Gulfstream.
Anyway, Tony Gwynn Jr. coming home. All three of us will be together in studio tomorrow. Could that mean that we have a fantabulous sports game show tomorrow, Scrape?
I hope Adam's son is listening.
I hope he's paying attention.
Because that is what it means.
I've got some really good news for all of you out there, because I'm assuming almost everyone listening here is a Padre fan. And if you're not, you're at the very least a baseball fan. And if you're not that, you're at the very, very least a fan of winning free stuff.
Yes.
So I think one of those three's got to apply to pretty much everybody listening right now. We have a pair of tickets to give away to Saturday's series finale game.
That's so weird.
I know, it is weird. Padres, Detroit Tigers. Saturday, the final game of the first series. Final game of the first series of the new year. It'll be Saturday, and I want to give you a time at 5:40 p.m. Jack Flaherty for the Tigers, Randy Vasquez scheduled for the Padres. By the way, this is the weirdest thing I've seen in a long time. Padres are off Sunday.
I know. It's so weird.
Like, what? Then they start a series with the San Fran Giants.
Why don't they give them a day off in the middle of like 28 games in 28 days?
I'm not going to even address you on that. I don't know. So anyway, in the 5 o'clock hour, it's 4:25 right now. You don't have to stick around for long, but do stick around, because in the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to give you a chance to win 2 tickets to see the Padres and the Tigers, Los Tigres. Still got to make up for that 84 World Series, Scrab.
Do you think that it's going to be, what's the word I'm looking for, summoned, that feeling we got to win for the 84 World
Pretty
Series?
sure that the guys will have a chat about that before they head out onto the field Thursday. We had the NCAA tournament here, and I think that was another success. We had a great venue for the first 2 rounds of the tournament. Kansas and St. John's gave us a great game. I didn't get the strategy of Kansas, though.
Yeah, break it down.
All right. Well, Kansas tied the game on a couple of free throws by, I think it was Peterson, the freshman guy who never plays but decided to play yesterday, I guess. So the game was tied with about, I'm going to say 8-9 seconds to go. And St. John's had, you can't advance the ball. We've talked about this already. Men's college basketball has got to wake up and start letting teams advance the ball if you call a timeout, so you have a chance to score in the last 3-4 seconds of a game.
What's the reason they don't allow it?
Because they just never have, and they just think, why do it? Well, do it because it makes things a lot more exciting.
Yeah.
Now, the argument against that is, if you could advance the ball, the Kentucky guy would have never made that thrilling half-court shot the other day. But those happen like once every 10 years.
Yeah.
I just don't like when
so people are like, we shouldn't advance the ball because there could be a half-court shot.
Yeah, there could be, but there won't be, right? And so, team scores with 4 seconds left in the game to go up by 1 or up by 2. The other team has really such a minuscule chance of catching up. Anyway, they haven't put that rule in yet. So St. John's inbounds the ball. Now, Kansas had only 2 or 3 team fouls at the time, which means they could intentionally just foul a guy and then it would be out of bounds. Well, so they fouled the guys. He's dribbling up the court, out of bounds. Well, now you take the ball out from the area you're fouled. So St. John's had moved up about 10 steps from the baseline. And then Kansas fouled again when they got kind of out near half court. And they still had a couple more fouls to give. And now there was only like 6 seconds left in the game. And I'm thinking, well, wait till they inbound it and foul them again. And there'll be 3 seconds. And then wait till they announce it and foul. Anyway, they could have run the game out and never given St. John's a chance. But after employing the strategy, they took it off. They passed the ball into the kid for St. John's. He dribbled right down there and laid it in.
Yeah.
They could have fouled him at any time he was driving that ball down the lane. Now, maybe Bill Self asked for a foul and his kids just didn't, execute. I don't know. But it was a little surprising to me.
That is surprising. Side note, real quick. One of my favorite things about college basketball or a tournament is when someone fouls when they're not supposed to, and the look on the coach's face of like, what are you doing?
Yeah, college
just
kids,
so much
it's
hatred.
fun because college kids still make a mistake like that from time to time. It was an exciting finish. I just thought Kansas should have played it differently. I thought Utah State gave Arizona a pretty decent run at it. Arizona didn't really look the part of a champion to me yesterday. But obviously, once they got close, they did enough and, went on to get that victory. But overall, so much fun to have the NCAA tournament in town. Now, also in town last night, San Diego FC returned to action and 2-2 draw. I don't think that's what they had in mind.
I don't think so either.
Especially since they were leading with like a couple of minutes to go.
Yeah.
And they gave up the tying goal.
Yeah.
So Invartson scored. But anyway, SDFC, for them, it wasn't a good week. They got the 4-0 rout at the hands of Toluca, got knocked out of the Champions Cup or the CONCACAF Champions Cup. And then you got a 2-1 lead late, and it gets away. Now, remember, the previous match in Dallas, they also gave up a late goal, which created a tie at the end.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like we've had many stretches of back-to-back games without a win.
Well, they started off the season with like wipeouts.
Yes,
but now it's been a draw, and then the Champions Cup debacle. I would say they would call it a debacle as well, losing 4-0, and then another draw.
I have to feel like going to Toluca had to affect
It might have
them.
taken something out of them.
Had to. They're
Yeah.
playing at 8,700 feet.
Yeah.
You're flying.
Well, I bring this up every time the Aztec men or women travel on the road in the Mountain West. Nobody seems to think much of it, but it matters.
It does matter.
Playing at altitude, then coming back and trying to play. Yeah, it takes a lot out of you. Wave got a win over the Utah Royals, 2-1, their first win of the National Women's Soccer League season.
Did Utah know that name's taken?
What, Utah?
Yeah. Did they know
Or
that?
Royals.
Yeah, the name was already
So you
taken.
mean since it's the Kansas City Royals, no one else can ever be them?
I think in this day and age, you can't just name yourself after a team that's already established.
Wow, you're tough.
I mean, maybe in like the 1900s you could do that, but you can't come up with anything else.
Back in the old days of the 1900s, you could
Were
do
there
that?
kings and queens in Utah? I don't think so.
Utah, well, they have a jazz in Utah as well, and I don't think there's even a saxophone in the state.
There's an explanation for that.
We understand that. They just didn't
That
want to
was
change
funny.
the name of the New
There's-
Orleans Jazz.
There's not a saxophone in the state.
I don't think so. I've never seen one. More Gwynn and Chris coming up after traffic. We got what we call a Big Five. Stick
Big
around.
Feezy.
Yeah.
Gwynn and Chris.
Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Skraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick. So goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break and the commercials did not play. And the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me.
Skraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm gonna laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Skraby, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. That was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one.
So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. It doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh, man. This is hot. Not that bad, though. I still have this side to go. It is getting hot. I'm not gonna lie. My mouth is like getting crazy. Now it's kicking in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this. Honestly, it's getting serious. I gotta go with the milk. My mouth is dying right now. Yeah, this is not fun, guys. Never gonna do that again because my mouth is on fire.
Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help. And there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Skraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick. So, goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me.
Skraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm gonna laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Skraby, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. That was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one.
So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. It doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh, man. This is hot. Not that bad, though. I still have this side to go. It is getting hot. I'm not gonna lie. My mouth is like getting crazy. Now it's kicking in.
7. Crisello, Matt Skraby, together in our Odyssey Palace Studios, otherwise known as the Bill House Studios. We know how. There's other stuff to read, no?
It's lessened. It's lessened.
Yeah. Okay, stuff's not here. Don't forget, 5 o'clock hour, we're going to give away 2 tickets to Saturday's Padres versus Tigers baseball.
Rawr.
Don't go anywhere.
That was my Tiger.
That's coming up. All right, Skraby. Yeah, well, that's a better Tiger than the one. Lakers 25, Detroit 20. I just saw a play in the game. Luka's already got 17 points in the first quarter. The guy's insanity. He is standing out by the 3-point line, okay? Way beyond it, about 5 feet beyond it. There's a guy right up in him like this, okay? Luka's right. He's right here. Luka takes his shoulder, nudges the guy away. The guy backs up a half a step because Luka moves him out of the way. Then Luka rises up and shoots because he now has room that he's created by shouldering the guy out of the way. The guy reaches up to try to block the shot. Luka shoots it, falls down, three free throws. They show the replay. The guy didn't come within 10 feet of Luka touching him. And this is what's happening all over the NBA right now and why a lot of people are critical of the whole league, just everything. I want to see Luka score 50 points too, but I want to see him score 50 points because he scores 50 points, not because you're handing him 3 free throws. You got to give the guy a chance to play defense, at least some chance. And Luka's not the only one who gets away with it. We've talked about SGA, talked about Jaylen Brown, and they're not the only ones either. But it's really kind of comical what's going on. And there's so many examples of this. And I know if I said this and Tony go, that's stupid. No, it isn't. You should be able to guard somebody. You should be allowed to guard somebody. All right, let's do the big 5 after traffic. Sorry, Skrabe, I had to do a harangue thing there.
I didn't say a word.
I know. Harangued.
All right, we may have a Luka Doncic injury, but we'll keep our eye on that.
You always say stuff like this, and then you're wrong. He walked off the court. He may have to go potty.
I don't think professional athletes go potty in the second quarter, Chris.
He had 17 points in the first quarter, so he can't be too hurt.
Yeah, that's true.
Number 5.
All right. All guests on 97.3 The Fan joining us on the SDCCU Fan Hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. Let's start with this, Chris. I'm going to put up a picture of what is said to be the new City Connect uniforms.
Okay.
I've seen this on the internet, and they're saying that this jersey that I just put up on the screen is going to be the jersey that they have.
Okay.
Now, just looking at it, I think they look great.
They look fine.
The thing is, I don't think these are the jerseys because they have the same exact font as the City Connect jerseys that they just retired. I don't ever see a jersey being made with the same font. Now, this could be me just reading into things. I also don't think it's true because we did all the leak things last time City Connects and everything was wrong. So my question is this, Chris. How close do you think the actual City Connect uniforms are going to be to this?
To this?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to answer it that way, but I will answer it this way.
Okay, answer it the way you need to.
These are not them. I bet everything I have.
I would think so, too.
There's no way these are them. They look good. They're dark blue with some orange trim. They have white lettering that says San Diego. Like you said, the same font as the rainbow San Diego ones of years past.
Mint and teal.
Yeah, there's no way these are them.
Or mint and pink. That's what I meant.
I would bet everything I have that these are not it. I don't believe the internet on stuff like this ever. I've been taught that after the first round. And so you know what I want to do, though?
What?
Do you remember something? This happened last Friday. We got to something like this, and I said, I'll bet you everything I have. And then I said, before I bet everything I have, see if you can guess how much I have.
Oh,
and
yes.
you guessed I had $78.
Yeah.
Tony guessed I had $5.
No, you guessed you had...
No, 5.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He guessed 5.
Yeah.
And I reached in my pocket. I had no much idea. I reached out 1, 2, 3, 5.
Yep,
he got it exactly.
It was true.
So I'll bet everything I have again, but I don't know how much I have right now.
I'm just going to say it for you, $3.
No, I have more than that today.
Don't tell people that.
There's no way those are them. So I if you say how close to the actual ones, 0% close. Is that an answer?
Yeah, that's an answer.
Okay. What do you think?
I don't
think there's a chance
I
that
think
these
the
are them?
color scheme could be there because we've already kind of seen the hat, and they're going with a 1998 Padres color scheme, which I don't think is you can go wrong with because people love that season. I think these uniforms look great. I don't like the font on the front. It doesn't scream New Jersey to me. And maybe I'm just reading way too too much into it, but I do not think these are the jerseys. I think they're going to look similar, but not these ones. But we're in that sort of year again, Chris. The year of what is the City Connect jersey going to look like?
Yeah, well, this ain't it.
Yeah. But they do look good. All these mock-ups look great too, by the way.
Number 4.
Some in Rams land are wondering how Jackson Smith and Jigba's record-setting deal would affect an upcoming deal with Puka Nacua, and some Rams fans are cursing the Rams for not signing Puka earlier. The Seattle Seahawks and wide receiver JSN agreed to a 4-year contract worth up to $168.6 million, including $120 million guaranteed, with an average of $42.15 million per year. Chris, you may be surprised to hear this, but I think he is worth that money. This almost certainly drives up the Puka price for the Rams. So I'm up first. Do you think Puka is good enough to be the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL? I think if he stops making stupid comments, he could do that. But yeah, I do think he could be the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. What he did in the playoffs, what he does all the time, it amazes me. That guy, for some reason, gets the ball and just has people run. He just runs over people and they bounce off of him. He is a great wide receiver, and I do think he will be paid at some point as the highest wide receiver in the league. Chris?
And then somebody else will get paid.
True,
JSN's the highest paid today, and then Puka will be the highest paid next month, and then next year, whoever the flavor of the month is will get paid more than him. And then JSN will go, well, come on, I don't get any penny. This is the same old routine.
Trent Williams
we go over and over with this. So JSN had a great year. He deserves to be the highest paid for the moment. And I hope that we don't have to hear from him like he just, plays ball. Puka doesn't seem like the kind of guy that will just play ball.
No, he does not.
Seems like the kind of guy that'll sign the highest contract, then start complaining and bitching about something,
No, he won't complain. He'll just start saying stupid things.
As soon as somebody gets paid more than him, he'll complain. I'll bet you anything.
He'll probably go on some podcast and be like, well,
Maybe,
I know I'm the best.
I'm going to give Puka a little credit here. Maybe he's seriously just immature, and it's, maybe he'll grow up someday, but he's not there yet.
Okay.
But yes, he's good enough. Sure.
Yeah, I think so
they'll
too.
pay him.
His maturity, though, is a problem.
Yes, it is.
Number 3.
All right, Chris, strap in for Wednesday Night Football, because that is what's happening in September on NBC. The first game of the 2026 NFL season is going to take place Wednesday, September 9th, according to the Wall Street Journal. The league traditionally kicks off its season on a Thursday, but the NFL's first ever game in Australia between the 49ers and the Rams is going to be on Thursday. So the kickoff game is actually going to be on Wednesday. I believe the Seahawks are a part of that. And again, the 49ers-Rams game is going to be on Thursday from Australia. Chris, do you think Wednesday night, and this whole article said, this is just testing everyone into figuring out if they can have a viable Wednesday night football game throughout the season. So, Chris, do you think Wednesday night football is going to be a thing?
Yep. And Tuesday night and Thursday night and Friday. I don't know. No, maybe not consistently. They have to give these players some semblance of rest.
They do not care. And they're showing it.
I know. But they have to. They can't just play Sunday and then, we need you Wednesday. Like, consistently. Thursday's already bad enough. But will it work? I'll watch. You'll watch. You'll watch, and so will people on Mars. They'll watch. It's the NFL. They know they can do whatever they want, and we will be right there.
Because there was an article attached to this asking how much of your time are you willing to give the NFL? And I don't need a game every day. I like the schedule the way it is. Let me miss football a little bit.
But let me also say
you're going to eat yourself.
I hate to tell you, you keep saying that, and it's not going to happen.
You know what Mark Cuban said? Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered.
Yeah,
I like that.
Mark Cuban's smart, but he's wrong.
I like it, though.
He's absolutely wrong this time.
Wednesday Night Football should not be a thing.
Number 2.
Jams. Man, that was a bad read right there. Giants running back Cam Skraby is he's eating his words. He has posted an apology on social media for his recent remarks regarding CTE and asthma. I don't know if you saw this, Chris, but he was on a podcast, and he said that CTE was an excuse. It wasn't real. Also, he called asthma fake. And a lot of the people in the chat said, well, what about your ankle injury last year? That seems kind of fake too, bro. People were not happy about this because asthma is a thing and CTE is a thing. Here's what he said. Quote, I recently did an interview and had a lapse in judgment, which resulted in making a tasteless joke about CTE and asthma. It was never my intention to downplay the seriousness of head trauma or asthma. I sincerely apologize to anyone that was offended by remarks, and I assure you, I'll be more mindful and respectful going forward. That is a form letter that is just put out there by people who make mistakes. I'm up first. Do you accept his apology? No. I watched this thing. This dude believed every word he said. He is not sorry. He is sorry because the Giants are making him be sorry. I think this is one of the dumbest things that I've seen in a very long time. And Cam Skraby is now on my list.
Oh,
because
starting the book. I see.
This guy said that CTE isn't real when it's very real. And Junior Seau, I could bring up him and prove to you it's real. So this was very bad, and I think his apology is hollow, and I will not take it. Chris, will you take it?
I don't care about his apology, to be honest with you, because I believe, similar to what you do, that he's only apologizing because he realized that no one liked what he said and his team made him. But here's what I'm going to say about Cam Skraby. You know Mark Twain is, don't you? One of the great writers in the history of
Huck Finn.
Yeah. And Tom Sawyer, more famously than Huck Finn.
Yes.
Mark Twain had a classic quote. I'm going to read it to you because it applies to Cam Skraby.
Okay.
Quote, it is better to keep your mouth shut and appear stupid than open it and remove all doubt.
I've heard that. That's a great quote.
It applies here. Cam Skraby shut up.
Yeah.
When you don't know what the hell you're saying, shut up. That's all I got.
It's just stupid.
That's all I got.
It's just stupid.
Number one.
The NCAA tournament is.
You want to hear that quote again? It's a great quote.
Yes.
Like the rest of us, we all ought to adhere to this quote.
Go ahead.
Keep your mouth shut and appear stupid rather than open it and remove all doubt.
I actually might get that quote tattooed on me, Chris.
That's such a great quote. Because how many people just blah,
me,
and then we
I've
all
learned.
go, yeah, you're so dumb.
But I'm
Shut
also
up.
genuine with my apology.
Yeah,
I didn't throw it into ChatGPT.
Yeah, just keep it quiet.
All right, the NCAA tournament is off to its best start since CBS and TNT began showing all the games in 2011. The tournament averaged 9.8 million for the first 3 days, according to Nielsen, a 5% increase from last year. Thursday's games averaged 9.8, according to... Wait, I typed that twice. Primetime games, which included VCU's win over North Carolina, averaged 12.5 million viewers, making it the most watched first-round window in NCAA tournament history. My question to you, Chris, is...
What?
Why?
Why?
Why is this the most watched NCAA tournament in history?
Oh, why the most? I can't necessarily answer that. Because why it would be more than last year, I'm not exactly sure.
I'm not either. I would.
So I can't answer that. But I can tell you a couple of reasons why March Madness is so such a huge part of our whole world. And I believe there's two reasons, and they're not necessarily in this order. One, because we love kind of the David Goliath aspect of the NCAA tournament. As a matter of fact, if you ask me, the NCAA tournament becomes less as exciting as the weekends go on.
You're right.
The first weekend, you have Siena play Duke.
Yep.
You have Iowa beat Florida.
Got crazy stuff going on.
After that, it's, all the good teams that doesn't happen as much. That's one reason. I don't know if it's first. The other reason is because we love gambling. And even though we don't always spend money on it, we all fill out a bracket and we want to see how we do. So we pay attention to it. Gambling is always a big part of the things. And I don't know if it's in that order. It might be the bracket and then the excitement in that order.
I definitely think gambling is a part of it. KG says, because the world is not in a great place and sports are a very welcome distraction. I think that's also
I'll give you that
reason.
one. I like that one.
All right, that is it for the Big Five. When we get back, we have our happy hour, and that's next on 97.3 The Fan.
Stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low. you idiot. Right. Typical tandem student right there.
I tried. I wrecked your good job, buddy.
Fun, huh?
You need help with anything? Okay, I'm nervous. Stand up, stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low.
Buzzed along here nicely. Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios, we know how. It is Chris Ello, it is Matt Skraby, it is Tony Gwynn Jr., who coming back home.
Yes.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know. I blinked for a second.
Tony Gwynn Jr. is coming back home. He and the Padres finished it up. Spring training's over. Padres wrapped it with a 10-3 win over the Mariners today. Our new slugging sensation, Romeo Sanabria, hit a grand slam during an 8-run eighth inning. I could see Tony and Jesse sitting there going, all right, enough already, guys. Let's get these 3 outs and get out of here. But no, Padres put 8 on the board, won it 10-3. They finished spring training 15-15 with 1 draw, as they say. German Marquez, 4 2/3 innings, 8 Ks today, or 4 1/3, 8 Ks. So his final spring performance, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Thursday.
Seen a mixed bag from him.
Tarek Skubal and Nick Pivetta. We're going to hear from Nick Pivetta in just a moment about that opening day start. By the way, we should remind everybody, if you're just like tuned in today and you missed some of it last week, we really did have 2 great days. I want to say great shows because that sounds self-serving. All right, they were great shows. No, we had so many good interviews, and I know that, Padre fans like to hear certain ones, and maybe you didn't get to hear the one you wanted to hear. So I'm just reminding you, on Thursday's show, I'm doing this off the top of my head, so I could forget some. I hope not. We had Jake Cronenworth.
Mm-hmm.
We had Craig Stammen.
Mm-hmm.
We had Fernando Tatis Jr. This is Thursday. Pivetta came on,
Yep.
Nick Pivetta.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one more
on Thursday. And,
it was good. I'll think of it in a minute. Friday, we had AJ Preller later in the show. Tony, because there was not enough microphones, did a really good interview himself.
They called an audible on us.
Right, with Jackson Merrill and Gavin Sheets came in together. And we also had Ty France on Friday ahead of him making the team. And I'm forgetting the one interview Thursday, so I apologize.
So say the Thursday ones again. I'll remember.
Fernando, Pivetta, Jake, Craig Stammen, and there was one more.
Let me go back to my texts.
But the reason I'm bringing this all up, if you want to hear any of those interviews, they're all out there for you. If you missed one, you want to hear Fernando, or you wanted to hear what Nick Pivetta had to say, or Ty France, whoever it is, or Stammen, go to 973thefansd.com or find Gwynn and Chris in the archive somewhere. You know how to.
David Morgan.
How
did I forget
Sorry,
about that?
Mr. and Mrs. Morgan. If they're out there, they're going to be upset with me, and they should be. Yes, David Morgan was great. So everybody was, those are all the interviews that we had last week. If you missed 1 or 2 and you want to, hear them, go find those at 973thefansd.com. Happy Hour is brought to you by GL Pools, the company trusted by thousands of San Diegans to keep their pools sparkling, swim ready, and expertly maintained. Call GL Pools now, trying to say radio.
Radio.
That'd be a good name for a movie. Remember that Cuba Gooding Jr. vehicle?
I've only seen
called
that movie
Radio
once.
Yeah, it was all right. You get a free month of service, though, if you say radio. When you call GL Pools, I invite you to do so.
I would also like to tell
I went
people,
for a swim in my pool today, did my laps.
How was
good
it?
Guy. Always good. It starts off my day right.
Is the water warm?
Yeah. It's heated to like 80 something. And when you first jump in, do the first push off the wall and in there, it's, chilly for
cold.
like a half a lap.
Yeah, I get that.
But I get used to it. I go all winter long, Skrabe. And many times it's much colder outside than it is inside the pool.
Wow.
So actually getting in the pool warms you up because it could be like 40 degrees at that hour of the morning.
One thing I struggle with is jumping into cold water. I just can't do it.
Yeah, that's my least favorite part of the workout.
But once you get in there,
I will tell anybody who will listen, swimming is by far the best workout. It's the best exercise, cardio, everything is involved. And best of all, you don't get injured. There isn't too many workouts there you don't run the risk of an injury.
Yeah, there's zero impact.
You play basketball, you blow by, hammy goes. Tony Gwynn Jr. on the IL.
I had someone tell me they thought it was hilarious that I kept bringing up he blew by the guy.
AJ Preller told the Tony Gwynn basketball injury story on Friday during our interview. But, yeah, you play softball, you tweak something, anything. But you swim, no injuries. I tell you, swimming is the way to go if you have a pool and can do some laps. Highly recommend.
I was a great swimmer. I was on the swim team when I was little.
Oh, my God. Every time I bring something up, you were great at it.
You
ever know people like that? You ever know people like that? I went out and played a little tennis. Oh, did I ever tell you about when I played tennis?
No, that's the thing. I told you I was terrible at tennis. I cannot figure out tennis. Tennis is very difficult.
God, I'm going to play, my wife and I are going to play a Tiddlywinks later tonight. I used to be an incredible Tiddlywinks player. I don't know what it is, but I used to really be good at it.
Before we move on, I also want to thank Adam for being back here and doing all the stuff we had last week. He put up a lot of videos on YouTube as well. So go to the 97.3 The Fan YouTube and you'll be able to see the interviews in video form.
You're talking about
players,
the one and only
training.
No, you're talking about the one and only Adam Klug.
Of course.
Couple quick things. You mentioned earlier, people were listening. Luka went out of the game, potential injury. I told you, don't do that unless you know something. He scored 17 points in the first quarter tonight. He took a bathroom break. He's back in the game in the second quarter.
Did they really say he took a bathroom break?
They didn't say anything, but he's certainly not injured. He's back playing right now. If people listened into the show and you said, Luka just went out, looks like an injury, a lot of people might take that kind of seriously.
I judged it by Twitter's reaction, and Twitter was scared.
Whatever. Detroit leads the Lakers 53-43 second quarter, partly because Luka scored 17 points in the first quarter and has scored 0 in the second. LeBron James has played 15 minutes in this game. No points for LeBron.
That's weird. I mean, he always at least scores
something.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear from Nick Pivetta. He's making the start. Opening day, Thursday. It's got to be really exciting. Thing with Nick Pivetta that I like, nobody ever gave Nick Pivetta anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He is he's a guy that has made it to where he is by, his competitiveness. And he's had some less than stellar seasons, and he's struggled along a little bit. This is a guy that was born, where he was born?
Canada.
Victoria, British Columbia. I've been there. That's an island. I don't know how many people get off the island to become a Major League Baseball player. Everybody's skating around up there. This is a guy who went to New Mexico Junior College.
That's right. I did remember.
All right. I mean, he didn't get recruited at Vanderbilt or at South Carolina. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was an afterthought to everybody. He went to junior college in Hobbs, New Mexico. All right. I'm looking to see when he was drafted. He wasn't drafted. You know what I'm saying? He just, signed a contract, worked his way up. I mean, that to me is a guy that, there's a lot of them like this, but I respect that. He got his start with the Phillies. He was under 500 for the first 3 years he pitched in major leagues. He went to Boston. He was under 500 most of the time there. He was 6-12 the year before he came to the Padres. Last year was by far his best season ever. Not even a contest.
Yeah.
If you look at the 8 previous years. And, so this guy had to go through all of that to get to this opening day start. I got to believe that he's going to have a moment of pride before he takes the hill on Thursday.
Well, Nick, congratulations on getting the nod for opening day. What was your reaction when you heard the news?
Just grateful for the opportunity. Excited. Excited to get out of Arizona and just start the season off, in sunny San Diego.
Your first opening day start in your career. What's the significance of getting this kind of opportunity?
I think you just kind of look at the guys that, have gotten opening days in the past that I played with, and, they're all great pitchers, great human beings. So it's just an honor to be able to get that, and hopefully I can just start off on a good start.
Last year, you had the opportunity to pitch in San Diego, experience what the ballpark is like, the sold-out crowd, some of the electricity there. What's your level of anticipation to have this opportunity in that kind of environment in particular?
Yeah, it's just excitement. I mean, I think it's just fun for us to just be able to play in front of the fans, the people who love the game. I think that's the most important thing. So as long as you're going on having fun, enjoying the moment, it's always fun to have first in the big leagues, and it's another one. So I'm excited for it.
This seemed like as big a no-brainer as there's been in a long time. Did you come into spring thinking you'd probably be going on?
I just didn't really focus on it too much. For me, it's just, it's not about how we start, it's how we finish. I've said that before, but I think it's an honor to be a part of. Like I said, it's great pitchers have done it before, and I just want to put my best foot forward and hopefully come away with the win and start us off on a fresh start. I think it's good.
Nick Pivetta, I said earlier, wasn't drafted. He was 4th round by the Nationals. Okay. He was drafted in 2013. Before he made the major leagues, he played in Auburn. I don't know where even that is. I guess it's Alabama, Auburn. Maybe
there's an Auburn,
else.
California too.
Okay. He played in, but that was in the New York Penn League, Auburn. He played at Hagerstown. That was in the South Atlanta League. He played in Harrisburg. That's in the Eastern League. He also played in Reading in the Eastern League. He played in Potomac, which is in the Carolina League. He played at Lehigh Valley, which is in the International League. You know what I mean? Like all of that preceding him finally getting a shot in the big leagues. Guys like that tend to appreciate it when they get there. And that's what I like about Nick Pivetta. And I hope that it's another great year for him. He did say that the thing I told him the other day when we interviewed him was I loved his line about there were, 5 guys better than me in the National League last year because I finished 6th in the Cy Young. I want to beat those guys this year.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, those 5 guys weren't better than you. They just got more votes. But Nick Pivetta could not have been better last year, and let's hope it happens again for him this season.
I agree.
All right. Blowout basketball. UConn ended up beating Syracuse by 53 points. They led by more than that during the game. And here's another blowout. South Carolina 13, USC nothing. First quarter.
Oh, they just scored.
Sorry, 13-2.
Give them their credit.
My goodness, these teams are just so much better. It's incredible.
It's not even worth watching.
That's what I said earlier. How long does it take until UConn gets bored of winning like that?
Oh, no, I'm talking about as a fan. I'm just like, don't really care. As a team, I can understand why it would be fun to keep doing that. But as a fan, I don't care.
All right, let's check traffic. And then we got a lot more. We're still going.
From the 855, Kent Ross.
A great pleasure to have you on. Nick Pivetta from the Padres, thanks so much for joining us. How are things going for you, other than being hotter than hell like the rest of us?
Yeah, can't wait to get out of this weather. This is crazy. I've never seen this. I mean, I was here last year. I don't think it got this hot. I didn't know it could get like this. Like it makes me miss Florida a little bit, but more excited to just get out of here and get ready for season play.
Had a little slowdown during this process. No, it's not the norm, but it's kind of happens from time to time with certain pitchers. How did you kind of get to that point? How did you kind of deal with getting through that point?
Yeah, I think for me, I just rely on the people around me, rely on the training staff, relying on the coaching staff. I think when you have great people around you, you're able to make really good decisions. And then other than that, it's just, getting back to strength, just giving my body a couple minutes just to kind of slow down. We have that time. I want to start the season healthy. So just kind of getting back in that direction and allowing myself to get back out there and play and feel good again.
As you look back on last season, Nick, how do you feel things came together for you? I know we all feel it came together for you. Mm-hmm. What did you think when it was all said and done? You look back on that campaign.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely me taking a lot of steps forward in 1 year. I think it shattered my goals that I had set for the year. So I think for me, it's just now it's that consistency and replicating that is the next step. It's not so much I need to do better. I just need to make sure that I can replicate that, and that's what a big leaguer is. And I struggled doing that in the past, so hopefully my past can help me in my future, and I can just be that consistent person that the Padres need me to be.
How so? I mean, we talk about that a lot. It's not easy at this level to be that consistent guy. How do you think some of your past endeavors have kind of helped you this time around?
Yeah, I think it's when I'm hitting that stretch. It's knowing how to stay within my routine and staying disciplined. But also at the same time, it's making those adjustments on the fly and making sure I'm making those at an elite level. I think that's really important because that's what you have to do to be a great baseball player. You have to do things better than everybody else, but even more sense, you have to do on an elite level. Right. So focusing on those things and when I have those rougher outings, what adjustments can I make either in that game, if it's not perfect, it's not in that game, what can I make it for my next start so that I make sure I flush it mentally and physically, but I am going out and being the best version of myself.
Are there times in maybe one of those bad starts where you catch it and maybe you may fix it the last inning or two, but you obviously had the troubles before? Are you able to then carry that in to that next start if you catch it at the end like that?
Yeah, so I think one of the standards I set for last year was even if I did scuffle a little bit, I still went out and threw a quality start. So 6 innings, 3 runs.
Yeah.
I think that needs to be where my standard is, and I think that's the type of pitcher that I want to be. Now, how am I going to do that? I'm in uncharted territory. I had a great year last year. I was able to put it consistently together, but me being in that position, I'd be lying to you to say like I was doing it on purpose and I knew what I was doing. I was in a really good flow state. I was having a good year. things were really gelling. I was able to just ride that wave, and I was able to make adjustments and throw quality starts when I could.
Can I tell you that I feel I'm a bit of an older school fan of baseball. I appreciate your attitude on the mound.
Okay, thank you.
Look, it's all well and good that everybody says hello and before the game and pats backs after the game. I just get the feeling that you for at least that minute and a half, that batter's your enemy, and I think that's okay. The competitiveness, we love to see this in you. Is it kind of always been the Nick Pivetta, and how have you manifested that in your career?
Yeah, for me, I've gotten to face a lot of great hitters in my life, and I love competing against that because that's what this sport is. It's competition. It's me versus you, and if you're not having fun in those moments, testing yourself, then what's the point for me personally? Like, I'm testing my skills against Shohei Ohtani or Mookie Betts or any of those guys, but even the guys that are in the order. The hitters are very good these days, what they can do with the bat, how they have their approach, what numbers they're getting, what scouting report they're getting on me. So the level has just gotten so high. And so any little mistake is one way or the other. So I just enjoy the raw competition, the passion. And then I think you also have the best part too is that you're playing in front of fans that care and are enjoying the game, and they're taking time out of their day to come see us. And I want to make sure that I'm going out there the best I possibly can every single day, because it's moments in their life, moments in my life. And I just want to make sure that I'm putting on a good show at the same time and doing the right things. And then I want to win too. And got to be really great players that are doing great things on the field. Even if they're great, you have to be better. That's just what.
A great pleasure to have you on. Nick Pivetta from the Padres, thanks so much for joining us. How are things going for you, other than being hotter than hell like the rest of us?
Yeah, I can't wait to get out of this weather. This is crazy. I've never seen this. I mean, I was here last year. I don't think it got this hot. I didn't know it could get like this. Like, it makes me miss Florida a little bit, but more excited to just get out of here and get ready for season play.
Had a little slowdown during this process. No, it's not the norm, but it's kind of happens from time to time with certain pitchers. How did you kind of get to that point? How did you kind of deal with getting through that point?
Yeah, I think for me, I just rely on the people around me, rely on the training staff, relying on the coaching staff. I think when you have great people around you, you're able to make really good decisions. And then other than that, it's just, getting back to strength, just giving my body a couple minutes just to kind of slow down. We have that time. I want to start the season healthy. So just kind of getting back in that direction and allowing myself to get back out there and play and feel good again.
As you look back on last season, Nick, how do you feel things came together for you. I know we all feel it came together for you.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think when it was all said and done? You look back on that campaign.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely me taking a lot of steps forward in 1 year. I think it shattered my goals that I had set for the year. So I think for me, it's just now it's that consistency and replicating that is the next step. It's not so much I need to do better. I just need to make sure that I can replicate that, and that's what a big leaguer is. And I struggled doing that in the past, so hopefully my past can help me in my future, and I can just be that consistent person that the Padres need me to be.
How so? I mean, we talk about that a lot. It's not easy.
Chris Ella, Skraby, Tony Gwynn Jr., all of us will be together tomorrow in studio. Then, fast forward to Thursday, opening day, 6 o'clock in the morning. Ben Higgins, Stephen Woods. They'll be down at, where are they going to be? Isn't that crazy? Baja Ricks.
Yes, I was going to say,
Goodness.
your guy.
I know, I've been there 1,000 times.
I'm just kidding. I forgot
our minds
something
go
earlier today.
We get old. And we just get them full of stuff. Baja Ricks, right by the ballpark. I think it's on 6th. It's not 6th Avenue. I don't know. What is that street there, Scrape? Between 5th and 6th, right by the ballpark.
You're asking the wrong guy.
I
I'm
know.
not a good street guy.
I'm
looking at Baja Ricks right now. It's 6th Avenue, 176th Avenue, San Diego, California.
It is on 6th Avenue.
It is on 6th Avenue.
It's all the way right down by the ballpark.
I would say
it's a stone's throw from the ballpark.
Yes, I would say the Omni Hotel is...
That's right next door.
Yes.
Baja Ricks Cantina.
6th and L.
There you go. 6th and L. Thank you. And by the way, he's got some of the best food there.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing that I went crazy, and there's a lot of good stuff like that hamburger, was it cheeseburger quesadilla or something like that?
I forgot about that, but that was great.
How about just the hot dog?
I haven't had the hot dog. I haven't had the hot dog.
Baja Ricks, man. Go down there. 6 a.m. Start your opening day. Make opening day a day.
Yeah.
6 a.m. Ben and Woods. 10 a.m. Braden Surprenant.
And
yes,
Frank
there's an
Lucchese.
R in there, by the way.
Yes.
Surprenant. Yeah, what happened to Frank Lucchese's Hofstra pride? Petered out. Frank, come on.
Come on, man.
Expecting more out of you.
I need more from Hofstra.
Nothing from Hofstra there in the tournament. And then Sam Levitt's first pregame show of the year. You know, Sammy's like writing it tonight. Like he's starting it right now.
He told me over breakfast.
He's so
got
excited.
plans.
He's got plans for the opening pregame show. 12 o'clock on Thursday, 1:10. Jesse Agler will go. And Pavetta into the windup. And the first pitch of the season. Strike one. Wait a minute. They tap the helmet. We're going to have a challenge.
Oh, my goodness.
That's what's going to happen. First pitch is going to be a ball, called the ball, and Fermin's going to catch it and go, dee, 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 tap, 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 tap.
I'm going to
get used to it, pals.
I'm going to be hating it if there is ever one of these like marathon.
Jesse said he predicts
challenges.
Jesse predicted it'll be 15 to 20 will be the maximum challenge number this year. Like there'll be one game somewhere where there'll be 15 to 20 challenges.
I can totally buy that.
Well, that's going to be pretty damn annoying, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
I guess I'm the only one who might be annoyed.
Did you hear about the umpire over the weekend who had a hot mic after they challenged the pitch and then he goes, "Please be a strike."
Oh, goodness.
And he was on a hot mic and it wasn't a strike.
All right. Sit right down and hear a tale of it. Okay, here we go. Here's my tale. Because at the end of this tale, I'm going to ask you to call in. Do not call in now because Skraby's not going to answer the phone.
Well, it's already blocked anyway.
But the first person to correctly answer a question at the end of this tale is going to win 2 tickets to see the Padres play the Tigers on Saturday. Major League Baseball at Petco Park. 2 free tickets.
Do I need some music for this tale?
Give me a little something for this tale.
My Skraby Show page is gone.
Uh-oh. I hope you're not gone.
There it is, but that was weird. Okay, here we go.
All right, let me tell you a tale about Mayo Smith's famous gamble.
Oh my God.
Do you even know who Mayo Smith is?
No,
the guy's name was Mayo, Mayo, Mayo Smith. Mayo Smith was the manager of the 1968 World Series champion Detroit Tigers. And that is where our story begins. The Tigers in 1968 had a shortstop by the name of Ray Oyler.
Names were better back then.
Yeah, good old Ray Oyler. Ray's last name was spelled Oyler.
Oh, you
Ray
have to.
Oyler. Ray Oyler was not a good hitter. You know how they talk about the Mendoza line?
Yeah.
They don't talk about the Oyler line because it's so low, no one was ever at the Oyler line to be compared to him.
Wow.
In 1968, for the pennant-winning Tigers, Ray Oyler went 0 for August. He did not get a hit in the month of August.
Wow.
And his batting average dropped. Get this, this is a major league ball player. His batting average dropped to 135. This is at the end of August. Okay, this is the first week of the season, Skrabe. This is the end of August. The Tigers were on their way to winning the pennant, despite Ray Oyler's light hitting performance at shortstop. In those days, there were no playoffs. In fact, 1968 was the last year that the winner of the pennant went right to the World Series.
Wow.
1969.
That's fun.
Right? 1969, they started divisional play. 1968, you won it, you went right in. Well, manager Mayo Smith knew that although the Tigers were going to win the World Series, the pennant, they probably weren't going to be a match for the famous.
Sorry.
They weren't going to be a match. They weren't going to be a match for the 1968 powerhouse St. Louis Cardinals of Bob Gibson fame and all these guys. The Cardinals had won the World Series the year before, and they were going to win it again. Everyone knew it. Mayo Smith knew that his Tigers were not going to beat the Cardinals with Ray Oyler at shortstop, hitting 135. Well, manager Mayo Smith, with 9 games remaining in the regular season, went for the Mayo Smith shortstop gamble.
Uh-oh.
He took one of his starting outfielders, a Gold Glove winning outfielder, I might add,
okay,
who had never played shortstop before.
Oh, he'll be fine.
And put him at shortstop for the final 9 games of the regular season and for all 7 games of the World Series. That move is credited with the Tigers upsetting the Cardinals in 7 and winning the World Series. Now, the hero of that World Series was a pitcher by the name of Mickey Lolich, who just passed away recently.
That's why I recognize the name.
Lolich had 3 wins in that series, but he may not have had them were it not for Mayo Smith's gamble. What was the name of the outfielder that Mayo Smith moved famously to shortstop to help the Tigers win the 1968 World Series?
I know.
The first person, you do?
I do.
You really?
I do.
Are you just like throwing it, like without me telling you?
I do.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you'll win then.
I'm not going to win. I can't win. But
you can't win.
I mean, I should confirm with you off the air.
You'll confirm with me off the air. First person with the correct answer who knows that shortstop. 833-288-0973. Call in. Skraby's going to put all the phones on hold, so don't call right away. And when you call and we come to you, Skraby's going to say, what's the answer? Don't ask. Don't say, what was the question?
Yes.
Just have your answer. Be first, and we'll see you at the Tigers and the Padres on Saturday. Good luck.
From the first pitch of
And thanks for the moment last year when you recognized that was it San Francisco that was maybe sneaking a sign and you whipped the guy and man you came off the mound. We all felt that, man. All of us felt
I got to
that.
be better at my tipping though. Hats off to them if they have it. They're doing their homework. It's part of the game, but I was happy I could get the upper hand in that moment. Sometimes
we love that.
Sometimes it doesn't turn out to be that great.
You don't always get the hammer, and when you get it,
That's
you
right.
got to use it. You got to use it.
Yeah.
Nick Pavetta joins us here, coming off a terrific 2025 season. Nick, I know Stam has not announced anything, and I know you guys are going to go out take the ball however it goes. Is there it? Do you care at all? Is there any? Is it special to be the opening day starter?
I think it's a special thing, and I think it's a great thing. There's a lot of great pitchers that have gotten to start the opening day, and I think it's very important. It's something to be, yes, it is important, but at the end of the year or at the end of the day, what the most important thing is what's going on at the end of the year, and that we're in playoffs, that everybody together is coming together as a group, and everybody's achieving the same goal. I think it's not, yes, it's an awesome thing, but I think the group coming together and achieving goals that we want at the end of the year is the most important thing. Talk about Game 7 of the World Series, no, day one starter, that's what I want to be. Yes, of course. Those are special things. But, yes, of course, it's an honor if that happens. But if not, I still put my head down and look forward to pitch whatever game against whoever. It doesn't really matter.
Nick, thanks so much for the time. One last quick thing. You said, and I believe I'm quoting when you said there was 5 people that finished better than me last year because you were 6th in the Cy Young. First of all, they weren't better than you. They just got a few more votes than you did. But that seems to be something that is, working for you to come back and say, hey, I'm going to try to get it this time. And I think that's a good thing. Using it properly to motivate you coming back. Yeah.
I very much believe that. I think if you're going to, like I said, compare yourself to certain people, even from, the Justin Verlanders and Max Scherzers, the DeGroms, everybody, if you're going to compare yourself to those guys, you have to set your standards at a higher goal, and you have to hold yourself to a higher standard. It's easy to say, yes, I did great, and I was very proud of how I did, but trying not to get too complacent because what is it? It was 16 weeks ago, and now here we are again. And
here we go.
No
one cares.
Exactly. So, and like I said, I think for me, the team goal, when the team's doing good, everybody else is doing good as well. That's the biggest thing. The team's doing good, everybody else is doing good, and everything else will settle in place. I think that's the more focus there. You don't focus on everything that happened, the other guys, what's going on. It's, did I go out, quality start? Did we get a win? Is everybody happy? That's cool. That makes me really happy at night.
Boom.
Yeah, great, Nick. Hey, thanks for last season, and here's to doing it again in 26. Appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks for your time. Appreciate you guys. Okay.
And thanks for the moment last year when you recognized that was it San Francisco that was maybe sneaking a sign, and you whiffed the guy, and man, you came off the mound. We all felt that, man. All of us felt that.
I got to be better at my tipping though. Hats off to them if they have it. They're doing their homework. It's part of the game, but I was happy I could get the upper hand in that moment. Sometimes
we love that.
Sometimes it doesn't turn out to be that great.
You don't always get the hammer, and when you get it, you got to use it. You got to use it.
Yeah.
Nick Pavetta joins us here, coming off a terrific 2025 season. Nick, I know Stam has not announced anything, and I know you guys are going to go out take the ball however it goes. Is there it? Do you care at all? Is there any? Is it special to be the opening day starter?
I think it's a special thing, and I think it's a great thing. There's a lot of great pitchers that have gotten to start the opening day, and I think it's very important. It's something to be, yes, it is important, but at the end of the year or at the end of the day, what the most important thing is what's going on at the end of the year, and that we're in playoffs, that everybody together is coming together as a group, and everybody's achieving the same goal. I think it's not, yes, it's an awesome thing, but I think the group coming together and achieving goals that we want at the end of the year is the most important thing. Talk about Game 7 of the World Series, no, day one starter, that's what I want to be. Yes, of course. Those are special things, but yes, of course, it's an honor if that happens. But if not, I still put my head down and look forward to pitch whatever game against whoever. It doesn't really matter.
Nick, thanks so much for the time. One last quick thing. You said, and I believe I'm quoting when you said there was 5 people that finished better than me last year because you were 6th in the Cy Young. First of all, they weren't better than you. They just got a few more votes than you did. But that seems to be something that is, working for you to come back and say, hey, I'm going to try to get it this time. And I think that's a good thing. Using it properly to motivate you coming back.
I very much believe that. I think if you're going to, like I said, compare yourself to certain people, even from, the Justin Verlanders and Max Scherzers, the DeGroms, everybody, if you're going to compare yourself to those guys, you have to set your standards at a higher goal, and you have to hold yourself to a higher standard. It's easy to say, yes, I did great, and I was very proud of how I did, but trying not to get too complacent because what is it? It was 16 weeks ago, and now here we are again. And
here we go.
We're getting ready.
No one cares.
Exactly. So, and like I said, I think for me, the team goal, when the team's doing good, everybody else is doing good as well. That's the biggest thing. Team's doing good, everybody else is doing good, and everything else will settle in place. I think that's the more focus there. You don't focus on everything that happened, the other guys, what's going on. It's, did I go out, quality start? Did we get a win? Is everybody happy? That's cool. That makes me really happy at night.
Oh, yeah, great, Nick. Hey, thanks for last season, and here's to doing it again in 26.
Yeah,
appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks for your time. Appreciate you guys. Okay.
You don't think that was actually
I know
him?
his last name.
Armando Galarraga was the guy who famously pitched the perfect game that wasn't a perfect game because Jim Joyce missed the call.
And one of the, I think one of the most classy individuals ever.
Armando Galarraga who just said, hey, the guy made a mistake.
Yeah, classy.
It was classy. There's been a big push to put that in as a perfect game for Armando Galarraga, but I can see why they haven't. It just wasn't under the rules of the day. You couldn't, challenge that. It was a mistake that was made.
But if everybody knows.
I know what you're saying, Skrabe. I'm right with you.
I say give it to him.
You say give it to him. Luka Doncic had 17 in the first quarter tonight. He's only got 4 since. Lakers are trailing Detroit 76-63. LeBron James, 22 minutes, still scoreless in this game. I doubt he's ever gone completely scoreless in a game.
I would think that would be very rare.
Anyway, the Lakers are trailing in that one. If you're, keeping track of such things. All right. I did want to get this noted in again because I know a lot of people around here know Randy Bennett from his days at USD and now St. Mary's. That's a big deal for him, man, to go on. You said these guys leave their team too early. Randy Bennett stayed at St. Mary's for like 30 years. You know what I mean?
I saw it was 12.
Right. He gave it, a legit thing, and he built a great program there. For him to leave, have no problem. It's not like a just one and done thing. But he goes to Arizona State. That's a big step for Randy Bennett, and he's a great coach, great guy. And the other news on the coaching front was the Utah State coach who led the Aggies past the Aztecs. Jared Calhoun has left there, and he's gone to Cincinnati. All right, Armando was the winner of our trivia question, and he was on it. The winner, the name of the guy, the famous play, Mayo Smith shortstop thing, he moved a guy by the name of Mickey Stanley, and it really was a gamble when you consider Mickey Stanley was the Gold Glove winner that year in the American League in center field. He took him out of there and put him at shortstop because he was a good athlete. And he went there for the World Series.
Can you imagine the backlash that must have? What is this guy doing? He's never played shortstop in his life.
Well, there was no backlash. There was no Twitter in 1968.
Yeah, but there's those guys with the press thing in their hat.
The little sticker.
Yeah,
the
thing that says press.
Probably somebody criticized it. Mickey Stanley did make 2 errors in the World Series and only hit 6 for 28. He didn't do that much. But what happened was with him at shortstop, another guy by the name of Jim Northrup was able to get into the lineup every day in center field. Northrup hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam, had 8 RBIs. Hall of Famer Al Kaline, who had also been coming off the bench that year because he was 33 years old.
Oh, he's ancient.
Well, for those days, he came in, and because with the World Series regular spot, he also hit 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. So the Mickey Stanley move to shortstop opened it up for those 2 guys, helped the Tigers famously win that World Series, which would have never happened if it wasn't for the 135 hitting Ray Oyler.
Why? What happened to Ray Oyler going?
Ray Oyler going forward.
Did he just have this weird origin story where he became some sort of
Ray
evil
Oyler,
villain?
I don't know a lot about Ray Oyler. He passed at the age of 43.
Oh, well.
In 1981, Skrabe. So he's been gone for a while.
Wow.
He did finish his career with the California Angels in 1970. His career batting average, a cool $175.
I kind of feel bad for Ray
Oyler.
I don't feel bad.
Hit 15 home runs in the bigs. Let's just say this. It's 15 more home runs than a lot of people.
That is true. 15 more than me.
Yeah, and me.
I think he's got like 7 more than Tony.
I think he's got more than Tony. Yeah, he's got more than Tony. So Ray Oyler, slugger. the slugging Ray Oyler.
Once every like 150 at bats.
Well, he did what he could do. All right. We've spent enough time on Ray Oyler today. Let's take a break.
Ray Oyler.
I do too. Drew Goodman, we appreciate him too. He's a great voice, great announcer, the Colorado Rockies. Spent a little time with us today. We appreciated that. An update on the woe-begone franchise, the record-setting Rockies. And Drew Goodman says maybe it won't be so bad this year.
I like his attitude.
Let's see him try to talk Skraby and I into this after traffic.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Soapy Joe's Car Wash. Well, I'm liking what I'm seeing, and that's a lot less stuff on my screen to report. Crash has cleared on southbound 5 at Genesee, and an accident clearing from La Costa on-ramp to northbound 5. Eastbound 78 before Twin Oaks Valley Road, reports of a stalled pickup truck in middle lanes. And got a stall clearing on southbound 15 before Miramar Way. That could still be between the two left lanes. Glow Up Complete. Soapy Joe's on West San Marcos Boulevard in San Marcos is back up and running. Come by and get the best car wash in San Marcos. Always wanted to be part of the Soapy Squad? Here's your chance. Visit SoapyJoesCarWash.com and become a member today. Give them a follow at Soapy Joe's Good Clean Fun. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Drew Goodman, who calls the games for the Colorado Rockies. Drew, appreciate your time as always. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for the kind introduction.
Always
good.
Always great having you on, sir. And I imagine like a trip to the dentist when you're driving home, you're just glad that's over. I'm referring to last season, of course. You move on now. And, I know everybody's probably turned the page. And I think there, at least from the outside, I feel there's reason for hope. You bring in Paul DePodesta, you bring in Josh Burns. They add some players, some pitching, especially with Lorenzen and Quintana and Sugano. Just talk about the mood around the Rocks here as we kind of wrap up spring training.
I know it may catch some people by surprise, other than we understand that this time of year for all 30 teams is one of great optimism. And so having said that, there truly is a really great vibe around this club right now. And I think a lot of it has to do with the numerous changes that took place. You alluded to it. It starts at the top with Paul DePodesta and Josh Burns. They hired a lot of really smart, really well-respected and successful people in this business. And I think that has permeated down through Warren Schaefer and a relatively new coaching staff to the players. And there's a number of players who were here a year ago, and to a man, they're all like, this is a different deal. And so the enthusiasm's great. I get this question a lot, what's it going to look like? and honestly, I'm super, super excited about watching this thing unfold, with the caveat that, you're not going to go from 119 losses to, 95 wins. That just doesn't happen. But in terms of where they are right now and the future and the beginning of what will be a process, I honestly, and I'm not just blowing smoke, I couldn't be more excited, because it was necessary, and it's taken place, and it's not just one individual. It's been widespread. So I really am enthusiastic about the direction.
Drew Goodman is with us. He's the voice of the Rockies. The other thing, Drew, you talked about the new people. I looked at some of the numbers of these guys last year. I mean, Hunter Goodman was an all-star that, there might be a lot of people who didn't even notice. The guy had 31 home runs. Mickey Moniak, I know Skraby wants to talk about him because he's a La Costa Canyon kid, but 24 home runs, breakout type of year. Jordan Beck, he looks like a 2020, maybe 25 guy. Brenton Doyle has already kind of been that. I thought he had an off year. Ezekiel Tovar, he's an all-star caliber type player when he's healthy. It doesn't seem like the cupboard is completely bare for a team that had the record they had.
I think that's really fair. And I think when you look at, we'll start up the middle. Last year, Hunter Goodman, it wasn't just a gratuitous thing. You have to have an all-star. He was a Silver Slugger award winner behind the plate
Yeah.
in the National League. And last time I checked, there's a guy in Los Angeles named Will Smith who's pretty darn good also. So, his numbers were legit. They were not inflated by Coors Field. He hit more home runs out on the road than he did at Coors Field. Brenton Doyle had some, stuff off the field last year, family related, that I'm sure affected, his performance. He was much better in the second half. But to your point, 2 years ago, he was a 20-something player. He plays Gold Glove defense in center field. Tovar 2 years ago, he dealt with a lot of injuries last year, limited to 95 games. He had 26 home runs, had 45 doubles. The only guy who had more extra base hits in the National League was a fellow named Shohei Ohtani. So there are players, and now you need, hopefully, when you have really good seasons, all your players, or most of your players, live up to some kind of expectation. So no, the cupboard's not bare, but you need more talent. And there's no question the Rockies, continue to have to build in the talent department, especially when it comes to the rotation.
Talking to Drew Goodman, he is the TV play-by-play broadcaster for the Rockies, and he is brought to you by SDCCU. It's not big bank banking, it's better. The SDCCU fan hotline, I should say. And Chris is right. I want to talk about Mickey Moniak because he is the La Costa Canyon guy. I am too. Number 1 overall pick. He was, he's played for a couple different teams. Didn't really seem like he was finding a place, but I think he may have found a place in Colorado. Do you think that this is a place where he can grow?
Absolutely. I mean, you talk about growth with the Angels. He had a couple of years ago, he had a real solid year. The home run total was 14, but the average in OPS was strong. A little bit of a down year in 24. Last year, he increases his home run total, his career high, by 10. Mickey was really good. And so I think there's a comfort level. I think he's beyond now having to deal with the expectations, especially in Philadelphia. You guys know this.
Mm-hmm.
When you get drafted 1-1 and then you go to a city like Philadelphia that has high expectations for it. Heck, if I was playing there, they'd have high expectations for me.
Yeah.
But, they had all these great players around him. Great dude. Thrilled for his success last year. And I'm looking forward to watching him build on that.
Drew, you talked about some of these newcomers. I keep looking to try and find what the Rockies lineup is going to be. I don't know how much of it has all been decided. I've seen somewhere Julian's going to play first base. I've seen somewhere Castro's going to play second. Somewhere he's going to play third. Ritter's going to be in there somewhere. The outfield, I've seen Moniak in right. I've seen McCarthy in left. I've seen Beck. How are they going to piece it all together? Or is it still kind of just going to be, let's see how it works?
Well, last year, other than Mickey Moniak, the Rockies really didn't have a left-handed bat. I think that, they went out and got Willie Castro, who was an all-star a couple of years ago with the Twins, switch hitter, professional. As you guys know, he can play everywhere. He'll probably start at second base, at least initially most days. Kyle Karros, again, Southern California kid, UCLA. His dad had a marvelous career. Kyle's going to play third. He got up late last year and tremendous defensively. I think he's going to hit also. At first base, it's interesting. TJ Rumfield is going to start there initially. He was in the originally he was in the Phillies system. He was in the Yankee system, and he had a really good year last year at Scranton. He's blocked by Ben Rice and also Paul Goldschmidt. So the Rockies made a deal, sent Angel Chivie, a reliever, to the Yankees, and this kid showed up. He's punched out just one time in spring training, leads the club with 4 homers, real good bat to ball skills. So they're kind of excited about Rumfield. You'll see him a lot. Julian, I think, will come off the bench. Ritter will come off the bench. You'll see a foursome in the outfield with one guy DHing. It'll be Beck, who we talked about, Doyle, who we obviously talked about, Mickey Moniak, and the guy that they picked up from Arizona, who's going to lead off, I think, most days, is Jake McCarthy. Right. So they're excited about, his, what he brings, kind of high on base guy and a guy who's going to run.
Talking to Drew Goodman on the SDCCU fan hotline. And one of the guys that I really feel bad for is Chris Bryant, because he signed this huge deal with the Rockies. I know that he does not want to be injured, and I know that he wants to be out there playing. But what is the future for Chris Bryant? Does he have a playing future with the Rockies, or is this something where we've seen him suit up for the last time?
You know, when anybody has an injury, particularly one that becomes a chronic situation, such as the one that Chris is dealing with his back, sure. I mean, you're talking about a guy. It's sad. I mean, you're talking about a guy that was an MVP, a guy that was part of a historic World Series team in Chicago. He was Rookie of the Year, accomplished a lot of things, and unfortunately, he's not healthy. And I at this point, because he has come out and said he can't even pick up his kids. So, you know, being able to do anything from a baseball related standpoint, and we're talking 6, 8, better part of a year now since the last time he played. You know, if he does play again, it's probably more of a surprise.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And that's just being honest and reading the tea leaves.
Yeah, Drew Goodman brought to you by the SDCCU fan hotline. Yeah, Chris Bryant, I mean, look, the San Diego connection, you know, USD, #1 pick overall. It's such a shame. He's such a good guy. All right, last thing, Drew, I know you got to roll. Give me just a quick rundown of this pitching staff, because I know when it was all said and done, I think nobody had an ERA under 6 in the starting rotation. And even for Coors Field, it was a rough year for the pitchers, but Lorenzen, Sagano, Quintana, these aren't Hall of Fame names, but they're guys that should be able to get some outs.
Yeah, they're pros, and the staff will be led again by Kyle Freeland, who's, you know, I know it's a cliche, but he really is kind of a warrior when he takes the mound. It's a great story. It's 10 years now. He grew up in Denver and was drafted out of the University of Evansville in the first round. He's had a great spring. He's given up just 1 run this spring. But after that, you have guys that are more, you know, back-end guys historically. Quintana probably a little better than that. Lorenzen has a no-hitter on his resume, an all-star game. But they know how to pitch. And are there going to be rough days? Of course, especially when you pitch half your games at Coors Field. But I think they're going to be able to keep the Rockies in games, maybe more than some of the youngsters a year ago. And we'll see, you know, how it transpires. The other element, you know, Chase Dolander, it was announced yesterday, who has top of the rotation stuff. He's going to start the year in the bullpen, and if he can figure it out where he's a little more of a consistent strike thrower, then the Rockies, you know, may have their, you know, fingers crossed, may have their best starter in terms of stuff since Ubaldo Jimenez.
Yeah.
And, you know, we'll see how it plays out, but it's going to be a veteran staff. There's a little more depth there, even some pieces that'll start the year in AAA than there has been recently. So, you know, fingers crossed from that standpoint. Not trying to suggest that this is, you know, the Detroit Tigers rotation, who the Rockies are getting ready to play here in a few hours. But hopefully they'll be, you know, a little more settled there with the presence of guys that have been there and done that in the aforementioned fellas you threw out there.
Talking to Drew Goodman, and real quick, Drew, I have to ask you about Zach Veen. For everybody who doesn't know, he showed up in spring training with 40 extra plus pounds of muscle. How has that worked out for him?
Well, it's working out nicely. And honestly, you know, funny story. So there were some guys who worked here forever that, and we're having a conversation with them and didn't realize who he was for like the first minute of the conversation.
Different. He looks different.
He looked completely different.
Yes, he did.
And, you know, he's been very upfront about some of the things he went through with some, you know, addiction things. And he's a great young man, and he's a guy that you really root for. He obviously has immense talent, and he got off to a great start. In fact, he hit 2 450-plus foot walk-off home runs the first few weeks of spring training. And then he I think it was a knee, kind of dinged up a knee a little bit. So he hasn't played the last couple of weeks, and, you know, he's going to start the year in AAA.
All right, Drew. Well,
Thank you to Drew Goodman for joining us earlier today and previewing.
Sorry, I was
Rockies.
like off I'm looking at the USC game, which is women's basketball. South Carolina University of Southern California against USC University of Southern California. South Carolina opened the game on a 13-0 run, closed the half on an 18-0 run. Like, it's just, what's going on? Crazy. How much time do I have? Like, how long is this music?
You got another 30 seconds.
Here's MLB.com's Padre opening day lineup. Bogarts, Merrill, Machado, Tatis, Laureano, Cronenworth, Castellanos, Andujar, Fermin.
I like it.
See how close that is? Gavin Sheets will be on the bench with a lefty starter. We'll talk about it more when all three of us are here on 97.3 tomorrow at 2. Bye-bye.